never sabi wetin we carry for her. But they move closer before them to sabi. I said they never know wetin we carry for body. But they move closer before them to sabi. Ọ̀kín lọ lọ́jà ẹyẹ ni ń lo ló lajú. Ẹyẹ tó torí kodò bí àdó ọ̀pẹ̀jẹ̀ lẹ́nu. Ká ṣiṣẹ́ fún ilẹ̀ bàbá wa. Ká ṣiṣẹ́ fún ìlú bàbá wa. Ká jùmọ̀ sowọ́pọ̀ ká lè kó Odùduwà. Odùduwà kò bá lè gbé wa. Ọmọ Odùduwà ṣe kiri. Ẹ dìde fún ẹ̀tọ́ adúláwọ̀. Ká lè jọ jùmọ̀ gbé délẹ̀ ìlérí. Ká wálé gba ògo ilẹ̀ wa. Ká ṣiṣẹ́ ká lè jọ gbàdé. Ká lè gbàdé adé adúláwọ̀. Àwa ni mọ̀lẹ́ tí yóò tàn káàkiri. Ọmọ Odùduwà ni wá. KOIKIMEDIA àwa là ń gbé tó lárugẹ. Ètò tó pọ̀jù owó ìwà mọ́ni. Kásá ẹgbẹ́ polówó ọjà wà kájé gbúgbà yín jẹ. Ètò tó pọ̀jù owó ìwà mọ́ni. À ń gbé tó lárugẹ, à ń kásá lárugẹ. Ètò tó pọ̀jù owó ìwà mọ́ni. News and sports ẹ máa rí gbọ́. Ètò tó pọ̀jù owó ìwà mọ́ni. Ọmọ Ìjẹ̀bú alárẹ̀ mi ló ní kí n máa ké tantan. KOIKIMEDIA ọlọ́lágbájúmọ̀ mi o. Máa bá ṣẹ̀rẹ̀ lọ. Ọmọ Yorùbá nìyẹn, ọmọ Yorùbá tata o. À ń gbádùn rẹ̀, ọmọ Ìjẹ̀bú alárẹ̀ mi. Ṣẹ́yìn ló máa fi dìbò tẹ̀ mọ́lẹ̀ o. Ẹ̀yin lọ́mọ onígbò máa ń dé mádémádé. Ẹ̀yin lọ́mọ onígbò máa wọ̀ o. Igbó máa wọ̀ àjòjì ò gbọ́dọ̀ wọ̀. Àjòjì tó bá wọ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ á tẹ̀lé ní ẹbọra. Ẹ̀yin lọ máa náwó kóyìnbó tó dé. Ìgbà tó yìnbó dé o, owó náà dẹ́ tún pọ̀ sí o. KOIKIMEDIA ṣàwa ní bàbá. KOIKIMEDIA àwọn ní bàbá. KOIKIMEDIA àwọn ní bàbá. Àdáńtọ́ àtúnpèrè gidi. KOIKIMEDIA àwọn ní bàbá. Àwa là ń gbé tò lárugẹ jẹ́ ká jọ gbọ́ o. KOIKIMEDIA àwọn ní bàbá. Àtúnjà fẹ́tọ̀ ilẹ̀ wa fẹ́tọ̀ ilẹ̀ Yorùbá. KOIKIMEDIA àwọn ní bàbá. Ọmọ Oòduà ni wá o tọkàntọkàn. KOIKIMEDIA àwọn ní bàbá. Ikú tó ṣe bí lébi òsì àdìmú bàbá iyọ̀. KOIKIMEDIA àwọn ní bàbá. We bring you one closer to your doorstep. KOIKIMEDIA àwọn ní bàbá. Afẹ́fẹ́ tó ń fẹ́ òòdùn kan kí oko lára ni. KOIKIMEDIA àwọn ní bàbá. Àpèrè gèdè Olódùmarè ló fún wa ṣe. KOIKIMEDIA àwọn ní bàbá. Gbogbo ayé ẹ gbọ́, àwa ní bàbá o. KOIKIMEDIA àwọn ní bàbá. Ẹ máa bọ̀ wá ẹgbẹ́ polówó ọjà yín wá o. KOIKIMEDIA àwọn ní bàbá. Odùduwà lágbèdá ní òtítọ́ lágbèdá ní. KOIKIMEDIA àwọn ní bàbá. A kì í sọ̀dálẹ̀, a kì í sọdí kẹta. KOIKIMEDIA àwọn ní bàbá. Àdúró tán, àtúnpèrè gèdè. KOIKIMEDIA àwọn ní bàbá. KOIKIMEDIA we bring you one closer to your doorstep. Àwọn ní bàbá. KOIKIMEDIA is around. To give us latest. Is around o. To give us latest. Ladies and gentlemen, ẹ mú kalẹ̀ sílẹ̀. Ẹ jẹ́ tí ẹ̀kọ́ ètò tó pọ̀jù gbogbo. Ladies and gentlemen, ẹ mú kalẹ̀ sílẹ̀. Ẹ jẹ́ tí ẹ̀kọ́ ètò tó pọ̀jù gbogbo. KOIKIMEDIA is around. KOIKIMEDIA.
Mo kí ìyá tó bí mi lọ́mọ, mo kí Ọlákúnlé, mo kí gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá, mo kí ìyá wa Fọláṣadé, mo kí ìyá wa Olúbùnmi Olóyèdé, mo kí grandma, mo kí granddad, mo kí Amẹ́ríkà, mo kí New Zealand, mo kí Japan, mo kí Benin, mo kí Germany, mo kí bàbá wa Professor Adébánjí Akíntóyè, mo kí gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá pé àtúkù oríire tèní èní á máa jẹ́ ọjọ́ ọpẹ́ náà ṣe níṣẹ́.
lápẹ̀rẹ̀ gidi gan ni fún gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá dàda. Orí ni ọmọ Adéyẹmọ ọba ti kú ọ̀tá ìbáyọ̀ wọn ní alákọ̀ọ́rí ọmọ ti lọ wò ó èyí tí wọ́n rò yí ẹ̀ olúwo ọba ńlọ kúkú sẹ́. Sunday ọmọ Adéyẹmọ Ìgbòho ṣàṣẹ́bẹ̀ lọ wà ọjà máa dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ Olódùmarè ọba òkúri. Tó o bá ti dàbí wèrè pọ́jọ́ òní ó tó pé ńkọ́ kí lọ fẹ́ wá láàrin àwọn ọmọ adarí mú gan. Tàbí tó o bá ti dàbí kí ọmọ láàrin ìfẹ́ kí lọ máa ṣẹ̀dá òfin ìró. Ọjà máa dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ alágbẹ̀dẹ àyànmọ́ ọba tó fi ọ́ dára tó dùn. Ọmọ Adéyẹmọ o ìwọ náà kọ́ Olódùmarè ọba ní kí ọ lárugẹ. Sunday o máa gbọ́ ó ti gbogbo ọmọ Adéyẹmọ ó dé wọn mọ́lẹ̀ pákápáká wọn ò lè mí mọ́ ó ti kó wọn láyà jẹ́ kó lè sókè wọ́n ṣẹ̀rù bà wọ́n ọjà wọn láyà wọn ò lè mí fín mọ́ ó ti fi òkúdú lọ́fọ́ ipá ooru ní èyẹ dànù. Ọmọ Adéyẹmọ ọmọ ọba tiẹ̀ ọmọ ọpọlọgún ọmọ àlè ìwọ náà bí bàbá dojú dé àásì bí ọba ṣe sí ẹja fọ kí ni ń bẹ nínú ọ̀gán ọmọ Adéyẹmọ ti ń dún mọ̀wúrú bí ọ̀pá ni kò pa ni bí ọba ní pa ni kó yé dún mọ̀wúrú. Sunday ọmọ Adéyẹmọ ó ti di bí àlọ́ yìí yé ẹjẹ́ ọgbẹ́ mú ewé kókò tó bá lè bí ọmọ bẹ́ẹ̀ tó bá fẹ́ fọ̀yà kó máa fọ̀yà gbèrègbèrè sàǹgbọ́rọ̀ máa fọ́ọ̀kù ẹni ẹ bá wọ pé ọmọ Adéyẹmọ ti di bí àlọ́ yìí. Ọmọ Adéyẹmọ Ìgbòho ṣá yé orí ìyá pé ọmọ Yorùbá àtàtà ọmọ ọkọ̀ ní ọ̀hún ṣeun bẹ́ẹ̀ lọmọ ọkọ̀ ṣe ìwọ lọ́pàá gàmbàrí nípa ìsìn. Sunday ọmọ Adéyẹmọ ọ̀pá gàmbàrí nípa ìsìn ọ̀pá fúlàní ọ̀yà Sunday Ìgbòho ṣá ọ̀pẹ̀lẹ̀ àbábá rẹ lọ òrò ọmọ pẹ̀lá ọ̀lẹ́nilé mo sùn lẹ́ẹ̀kan ọmọ àjàtẹ̀yẹ lẹ́yìn ilé àbábá rẹ mo dé mo dáhà ní òde ọwọ́ di méjì bá rẹ àwọn ọmọdé méjì bá rẹ àgàdà ó di méjì bá rẹ gbẹ̀dínlógún ó kan ilà àárọ̀ fẹ́ ní gbogbo ilé ìwà àgàdà nínú bí àwọn rẹ ọmọ gbọ́dọ̀ ọlọ́kọ̀ ilé ìṣòwò akọ̀níṣẹ́ ọlọ́kọ̀ ilé ìṣòwò ìgbàlẹ̀kẹ̀ ọmọ Adéyẹmọ Sunday Ìgbòho sàmà kú ogun ní nánilógún ogun ló lè lé àárọ̀ ogun ni wọ́n fi jagun bí wọ́n jẹ́ bó gùn ọ̀yẹ́ ẹjẹ́ nẹ́ta wọn lóògùn ọ̀nà Sunday ọmọ Adéyẹmọ Ìgbòho ṣà ló ní ilẹ̀ Yorùbá gbòmìnira dandan ni máa wá gbọ́ o àṣẹ ìlànà Olódùmarè ni ọmọ ìlú ọmọ Adéyẹmọ o dákun mọ́ làwọn oníṣẹ́ ẹ̀tọ́ kálukú mọ̀ fi dùn wọ́n orí kálukú ló gbé ọdẹ kò tó dùn wá máa gbọ́ o gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá tàtà ń tẹ́wá lóye ẹja fọwọ́pọ̀ ká gbé ẹni tó wá fi sẹ́ ká gbé lárugẹ gidi ni ẹni méjì wọ̀ wọn ò dùn ẹjọ́ òròdù lọ sí bá méjì kó o ẹni tó wá fi sẹ́rán wọ́n yàtọ̀ sí ẹni tó fi ara wọn Sunday ọmọ Adéyẹmọ tó fi ara tiwa akọni jagunjagun ọkùnrin tààrà gbọdọ̀ kẹlẹ́ ọmọ Adéyẹmọ wọn máa gbọ́n fẹ́ sàgbà kan fún wọn ni ẹni tó bá ní kó òkú ní kékeré kó máa fọwọ́ àwọn síra wọn wọ́n ní kàkọ́ máa ṣe ara ìkókò dànù ìmọ̀jọ́ ayọ́yẹ pọ̀ ní kú lọ́wọ́ ọmọ wá kékeré tó kékeré ìdáhọ́ inú ọmọ gbẹ̀yìn agbẹ̀dẹ òsì pàtàkì òní kúrú òdòkó tẹ̀ máa gbọ́ àwọn bàbá rẹ tó ti wà níbùgbé ìdájọ́ wọn máa fọwọ́ tí ọ gẹ́gẹ́ ni àwọn lágbá jagun tí wọ́n ní jagun ṣáájú ilẹ̀ Yorùbá wọn máa fi ọtí ọ gẹ́gẹ́ ni Oòduà Ọlọ́fin ọba àtàlà máṣọlọ́wọ́ àjàká àjẹngẹtìlẹ̀ ẹ̀fọ́fọ̀fẹ́ nánàfọ́kúyá òmùlẹ̀ ẹ̀mẹ́rù ọmọdékùnrin sábà agorílá agorí funfun alùpùpù àbá òkèdè ìgbé ẹgbẹ́gbùngbùrù olè jẹ́sà sàgbó. Ọmọ Adéyẹmọ Ìgbòho sábò ló ti pẹ̀tùpẹ̀tù tiẹ̀ sí ọ̀pọ̀ arúgbó alárúgbó lórúkọ lọ́rọ̀ ìjọ ògùn lẹ̀yà ọ̀sẹ̀ pẹ̀yẹ́rìn kẹ́ni ẹ̀ máa ń dè bàbá rẹ lọ kàtàlí bàbá kẹ́ni ẹ̀ máa ń dè bàbá rẹ lọ alárúgbó parúgbó Sunday ọmọ Adéyẹmọ ní oṣù olùkọ́ ní gbangba Sunday ọmọ Adéyẹmọ ó ti dìbò bọ́ọ̀lù ó ti wà lókè ẹni ẹ bá ní ọjà kọ́kọ́ máa kú ní máa gbọ́ o sórí má bẹ̀rù ọ̀tẹ̀ mọ́ òòrí ní gbogbo fúrufúru labalábá tí wọ́n ń dìbò lẹ́kùn Sunday ọmọ Adéyẹmọ Ìgbòho ṣà òòrí bí wọ́n ti wọ sọ àkísà máa gbọ́ o jẹ́ gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá àtàtà tó bá lóye àkọ́dà ayé ọgbọ́n ọmọ Adéyẹmọ ní ẹja àfọwọ́tì àti ìdẹ́bi tó lágbẹ̀rẹ̀ ẹja àfọ tẹ́lẹ̀ èmi tún bẹ́ẹ̀wọ̀ òtúrí kò lè gbé wa débi kankan pa àkọ́dà ayé ọgbọ́n ẹja àkọ́rọ́pọ̀ ká bí ẹni tó ń gbọ́ pàṣẹ lárugẹ ni ẹ máa gbọ́ wọn ní ẹgbẹ́ ìṣẹ́ wọn lọ́fọ́lá wọn ní igi igbó sọ́tò wọ́n dìgbẹ́ ẹ̀rí ni àwọn àgbàlagbà
Mo kí gbogbo wa tí a ti ń darapọ̀ sínú ètò náà gẹ́gẹ́ bí a ti ṣe lórí ètò tiwa ní orí ètò Koiki Media. Ẹ bá wa polongo fún ẹni tí kò mọ̀ pé a ti wà lórí ètò nítorí pé mò ń wo statistics wa. Ẹ dẹ̀ mọ̀ pé statistics, it works a lot if we want to say that we are working. Tí ẹ bá wa sọ fẹ́ lòmíì pé a ti wà lórí fọ́nrán, ó ṣeé ṣe kí àwọn náà jàǹfààní nǹkan tí à ń sọ. Ẹ má bínú. Mo kí Koiki Media team, mo kí yín ní ọjà ọ̀dàn, mo kí yín ní Èkìtì, mo kí wa káàkiri. Ẹ jẹ́ ká play anthem wa, àwa gbà sí fún èyí tí ó sì ń bọ̀. Mo kí Easy, mo kí gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá pé a mà tún kú oríire. Tẹ́ bá wá láìkì tí mo wọ̀ yìí nítorí pé wọ́n ní èmi ni ọmọ má ní èmi ni bàbá, torí bàbá kí tó yẹ ṣe wà níbẹ̀, Ìgbòho wà níbẹ̀. Wọ́n ní èmi ni ọmọ Yorùbá nation, pé gbogbo ìgbà tí bá ti ń jáde àwọn fẹ́ jẹ́ kí n máa fi Yorùbá fi hàn fọ́mọ gbogbo tí ó ń bẹ níbi tí ẹ bá wà. Ìdí náà ni a ṣe ń dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ Ọmọlúàbí Apparel. Àwọn ló ní Mr. Koiki, gbogbo ìgbà tẹ́ bá ti ń jáde ẹ̀yẹn ṣáà máa look cool, àwa máa ṣètò tó yẹ ká ṣe sọ́dọ̀ ti yín. Ẹ bá wa dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ wọn. Ẹ wá lọ sórí www.omoluabiapparel. Níbẹ̀ náà lẹ ti máa rí eléyìí tí a máa fi ń kápá báyìí, ẹran tí ìta máa ń lò báyìí. A lo eléyìí báyìí tá a bá jáde sódà káwọn èèyàn lè rí. Nígbà míì kẹ̀ré á jẹ́ pé fìlà tá a bá dé lọ́ máa rí, àbí nígbà míì kẹ̀ré aṣọ tá à ń wọ̀ ní. Gbogbo eléyìí náà láti fi dúpẹ́ náà ni. Mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin tẹ́ ti ń darapọ̀ mọ́ wa. Mo kí ẹ̀yin tẹ́ ń béèrè pé kí là ń celebrate gan. Ẹlòmíràn tẹ́ mọ́ ta kúkú ń celebrate. A sọ fún yín pé Yorùbá Nation movement is a peaceful movement. Àti rẹ́rìí báyìí, a dúpẹ́ fọlọ́run.
Bímọ méjì ní kò, á fi kọ́ pọ́pọ́ sí, á mú wọ́n sì bomi sọ̀yàwó ẹsẹ̀ ọmọ abẹ́rẹ́ mẹ́ta òde ayé ọ̀kan ṣẹ́ ọ̀kan tẹ̀ ọ̀kan tó kù ní gbogbo ayé ránṣọ kiri gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá Sunday Igboho onírẹ̀lẹ̀ láéláé torí àgbà lásán nìkan ń dá òkúta ò ṣe pé fún wọn o ìmọ̀ràn lásán ni ti balùwẹ̀ kó bọ́ sí kókó dòdò láyé ń bì ó kún díẹ̀ tí kò domi láéláé kò ilé domi Sunday Igboho arógun má ti bí tó ń jà fẹ́tọ̀ Yorùbá ní tilé tó kọ́.
Jẹ́ kán mọ̀ ó ti di ringtone Dizzy Man 123 mo kí yín mo kẹ́yìn tẹ́ wà lórí TikTok mo ní ẹ̀ka alẹ́ ẹ̀ka bọ̀ sórí ètò wa Dennis ó tọjọ́ mẹ́ta mo kí yín mo kí Mr. Kehinde Jamiu mo kí baba Rafiu Anífowóṣe wọ́n ní no one can stop the movement train in motion whoever tries it shall be crushed to nothing. Òun ṣàwà là ń sọ̀rọ̀ ọbẹ̀ Elédùmarè ló ń fi ẹnu wa ló fi ń sọ̀rọ̀ wọ́n ní Mr. Koiki ride on Almighty God is by your side and by the side of every single one of us. Mo kí àwọn ìdílé mi mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin ti ìlú Ẹdẹ ní Òṣogbo ní Ọ̀ṣun State mo kí Governor Adeleke mo kí bàbá wa Ọọ̀ni of Ifẹ̀ Ọ̀jájá the second mo ṣí fìlà fún orí adé. Kò sí ìgbà tí a bá ń sọ fún gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá pé ìrìn àjò Yorùbá nation is not something that you can joke with. I don't have much to say tonight than just to continue to appreciate the God of the Yoruba land, to appreciate Jesus Christ in our lives, to appreciate Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Akalabago TV mo kí bàbá mi ẹ káalẹ́ sà. Mo máa sọ pé Yorùbá nation ọ̀nà tí wọ́n rò kọ́ ni wọ́n ń bá látara campaign lábẹ́ bàbá wa Professor Adébánjí Akíntóyè tí mo fi tọ̀wọ̀tọ̀wọ̀ dárúkọ. Bàbá tó jẹ́ kó yé wa pé it is the noble path and also it is the best path. Mo gbàgbé the other one yẹn ni but mo mọ̀ pé Dizzy máa rán mi létí nísìn. Mo ṣì ń kí ẹ lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí Easy Dollar. Mo kí Kúnlé Bakers, bàbá mi Prince Adébáyọ̀ Shitu. Mo kí gbogbo àwọn ọmọ tí wọ́n wà lẹ́yìn bàbá wa lóyè torí pé mo rántí nígbà tí mo wà nílé gbogbo ìgbà lólóyè a máa sọ fún mi pé ọlọ́pàá tó ń bẹ lójú títì bí ìyà ṣe ń jẹ̀wọ́ ló ń jẹ̀wọ́n náà. Sójà tó ń bẹ lójú títì bí ìyà ṣe ń jẹ̀wọ́ náà ló ń jẹ̀wọ́n náà. Mo kí Grandma Comfort Adélẹ́yẹ. Bàbá kan pè mí láti Amẹ́ríkà a sọ̀rọ̀ rí. Kódà wọ́n ní ìyàwó àwọn kú wọ́n wá mix nọ́mbà yẹn ẹ mọ̀ pé tí ìṣẹ̀lẹ̀ bá ṣẹlẹ̀ síyàn ó ṣeé ṣe pé bóyá orúkọ tí àwọn kan fi save ara wọn but for whatever reason èmi ni wọ́n pè. Wọ́n pè wọ́n padà wọ́n ní Mrs. kinní kan mo ní kò ń ṣe Mrs. lélẹ́yìí o KOIKIMEDIA lọ́ba kó sàdúrà rẹpẹtẹ. Wọ́n ní lóòótọ́ Amẹ́ríkà làwọn wà. Wọ́n ní but ọ̀rọ̀ Yorùbá nation ó ti di dandan ó dẹ̀ ti di àsìkò nítorí pé ìyà tó ń fi wá jẹ gẹ́gẹ́ bí ọmọ Yorùbá nínú Nàìjíríà wọ́n ní kò dáa rárá. Wọ́n ṣàdúrà tó pọ̀. Mo wá fi ń tó gbogbo ẹ̀yin tí ẹ sì sọ pé Nàìjíríà ni. Èmi á ní àwọn òní ìjà láti bá yín jà. Àmọ́ mo kàn fẹ́ kí ẹ gbé yẹ̀wò ni. Màá máa lọ sọ́dọ̀ brọ́dà mi ní ọdún 3 lẹ́yìn nígbà tá a bẹ̀rẹ̀ kó tó di pé mo lọ sí Nàìjíríà. Àwa lọ sí Stratford lẹ́ẹ̀kọ̀ọ̀kan àti Sister Bukky àtàwọn bẹ́ẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ. Mo ń dárúkọ ìjáyà ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ yín ò tètè mọ ẹni tó wà nínú voice yẹn. Àwa pín flyer fáwọn èèyàn pé ẹ bá wa gbọ́rọ̀ Yorùbá Nation. Ṣe làwọn èèyàn fi wá rẹ́rìn-ín, wọ́n máa ń fi wá dápará. Wọ́n ní Yorùbá Nation wọn lẹ gbé dání pẹ̀lú gbogbo tó ń lọ nínú Nàìjíríà yìí tún sọ̀rọ̀ Yorùbá Nation. Mo kí Olúgbẹ̀du ẹ̀gbọ́n mi dáadáa, mo kí Heritage, mo kí ìyàwó Èrèlú, gbogbo àná la pàdé níjọ́ Saturday. Màá máa ní gbogbo ọ̀ kì í ṣe ghost. Èmi á máa sọ pé iṣẹ́ ta gbé dání ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ wọ́n misquote mi ní 3 years ago nígbà tí bá fẹ́ sọ pé a máa jà ní. Ìjà tẹ́yìn ń rò lọ́kàn ó lè máa yàtọ̀ sí ntẹ́mi ń rò. Ìjà tá kọ́kọ́ máa jà ni pé a kọ́kọ́ fi gbára wa jọ ká lè bára wa sọ òkodo ọ̀rọ̀. Òkodo ọ̀rọ̀ la máa ń sọ látọdún 3. Ṣé wá rí i pé òkodo ọ̀rọ̀ yẹn ó dúró dáadáa nítorí pé tí kò bá dúró dáadáa ni mo polóyè is a privilege to be a spokesman. Kódà mo ní tó bá ní mo ní ṣe spokesman mi mọ́ àbóhun, he still have my loyalty for life because ìntólóyè ti dánwò tó ti ṣe kò ń ṣe pé àwọn kan ti ṣerú ẹ̀ rí. Àmọ́ ní generation tàwa yìí èmi ṣe ń rí ni òkodo ọ̀rọ̀. Nítorí pé nígbà tí mo láǹfààní àti tún polóyè mo ní bá mi ẹ jẹ́ ká máa dúpẹ́. Nítorí pé ìjọ́ tí mo pè yín àbí tẹ́ pè mí tí mo wà ní transit tí mo ní bá mi ẹ ṣe fẹsẹ̀ fẹ́ ẹ̀yẹn má tún wọnú airport mọ́. Ṣé mọ̀ pé wọ́n ò bá rò pé bí à ń ta gbé dání criminal offence ni. Ṣé wá rí i pé irú ọjọ́ èní ọjọ́ ayọ̀ ọjọ́ ìdúpẹ́ ni. Olóyè wa ń sọ fún mi pé bí ìwọ ṣe rí ni òun ò ní ìyàwó tó dè sínú airport kóun wá fẹsẹ̀ fẹ́. Òun ò ní dájú ọmọ Yorùbá ṣe bóun lọ́ fẹ́ mú ẹ̀kọ́ mú òun. Ìtọ́pẹ́dẹ̀ fún fóun ṣe Ọlọ́run ló ní ẹ̀mí òun. Mo tún gbọ́rọ̀ yẹn lálẹ́ yìí. Ṣe ni mo àti wọn wá jọ ń rẹ́rìn-ín àwa ń dúpẹ́. Bá ṣe wá ń dúpẹ́ náà a dúpẹ́ fún gbogbo ẹ̀yin olólùfẹ́ olóyè Dr. Sunday Adéyẹmọ Ìgbòho Òòṣà. Òun kọ́ là ń dúpẹ́ fún Ọlọ́run ọba Elédùmarè tó fi irú èèyàn bẹ́ẹ̀ sáàárín wa ni. Èmi a máa ní what God cannot do does not exist. Mo kí bàbá wa Sẹ̀míù Àsùnmọ́, mo kí ẹ̀yin tí ẹ wà nílùú Ẹdẹ lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí pé a kó ara fẹ́ra kù ti ìyá wa ìyá dáadáa. Yíyan bá ń wo ikú á dàbí pé kí ikú kó má dé àmọ́ tí ikú bá dé kí la fi ṣe sí. Ìyẹn ìyá wa Ìyábọ̀ tí mo fi tọ̀wọ̀tọ̀wọ̀ dárúkọ Adéṣọlá, ìyẹn màmá Rọ́pò, my beautiful aunty. Ẹ má jẹ́ kí n tú gbogbo ọ̀rọ̀ kalẹ̀. Ṣé rí Yorùbá Nation focus ni. Àwa báyìí ní platform yìí àfẹ́ wà distracted. In tí mo mọ̀ ni pé àǹtí Rọ́pò or sister Rọ́pò kábíyèsí Elédùmarè o. Nígbà tí màá kọ́kọ́ láǹfààní àti rí wọn, wọ́n ní Mr. Koiki ṣe gan ni. Mo ní kí ni mo ṣe? Wọ́n ní iṣẹ́ takuntakun tajọ́ ń ṣe iná ni. Mo náà ẹni ká dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ ẹ tẹ́ bá wa yọ̀ǹda bàbá yìí. Mo dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ ìyá wa náà ní Canada, bẹ́ẹ̀ ni mo dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ ìyá wa tó ń bẹ nílé. Torí olóyè jẹ́gẹ́ bí èèyàn kan ẹkùn ńlá ni. Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni mo dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ àwọn ìyàwó wọn. Ọlọ́run ló fi àwọn ìyàwó wọn fi kẹ́ wọn, àti ìyàwó tó ń bẹ ní Canada àti tó ń bẹ ní Germany àti ìyàwó tó ń bẹ nílé. Ọlọ́run ló fi kẹ́ wọn. Torí pé tó bá jẹ́ pé àwọn ìyàwó yẹn bá fárágá tó yarí pé baálé wa ẹ lè ṣe tẹ́ ń ṣe yìí. Nítorí pé ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ ń fi ojú mi wo lóyè Ìgbòho. Àwọn tó súnmọ́ tó mọ̀ wọ́n ń fojú mi wò. Mo kí ìyá wa Sarah Oyèlọ́wọ̀. Èmi kọ́ lẹ máa dúpẹ́ fún. Àní ká dúpẹ́ fún ọba tí ó fi bàbá wa tó fi jíǹkẹ́ wa bàbá yẹn gangan ni a máa lọ dúpẹ́ fún ìyẹn bàbá wa Professor Adébánjí Akíntóyè. England ṣì ń gbá bọ́ọ̀lù wọ́n ti na Scotland ṣe léṣe mo tẹ̀mọ́ tó gbádùn 5-0 ni mò ń wò lọ òun ló ṣì wà lórí 60-inch screen mi kò ń ṣe pé mo fi ń dẹnu 60 ni ó wà wájú mi báyìí a kò lè fi volume sí ni ọmọ tó ń play wọ́n play in tá à ń pè ní England versus Scotland Nations Cup Scotland kí ló wá le tó yìí ẹ kò jẹ́ kí England dé yín mọ́lẹ̀ 6-0 bàbá Akíntóyè náà wá ń wo ọjọ́ ọ̀la pé ẹ ṣe jẹ́ ká dá dúró gẹ́gẹ́ bí Yorùbá country ká wá máa bá Arewa nation gbá bọ́ọ̀lù ní African Nations Cup ká máa bá Arewa play tournament nígbà tá a bá fẹ́ qualify fún World Cup bàbá wa Dékúnlé Rámọ̀ ní kí Ọlọ́run kó tẹ́ ìyá wa sí afẹ́fẹ́ rẹ̀ rest in peace màmá dáadáa àníṣe mo sì ń bọ̀ lọ́dọ̀ ìyá mi rọ́pò torí pé ẹ̀yin tẹ́ ẹ̀ mọ̀ lóye ta kàn ń wò wọ́n láti ọ̀nà tó jìn ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ ìdúpẹ́ gbọ́dọ̀ wà látara àwọn ìyàwó wọn torí pé bí ṣe sọ many people kò lè mọ olóyè ju àwọn fámìlì ẹ̀ lọ lára fámìlì wọn náà ni ìyá ìyàwó wọn tó kú yìí látara pé ìyá ìyàwó wọn kú àfi ká dúpẹ́ fún Ọlọ́run tí ó ní àsìkò tó ní. But one thing tí mo kàn fi rántí in the whole picture sometimes is the lies against Chief Sunday Igboho. The federal government portray him as a criminal. The federal government portray him as the danger to Nigeria. Ǹjẹ́ wàá mọ̀ pé Nigeria military is the danger because Nigeria military pa 150 citizens mo gbọ́rú ẹ̀rí àfi nínú Nigeria kábíyèsí Elédùmarè tó bá jẹ́ pé lákọ̀ọ́kọ́ a lè yáfi Nigerian government. I'm just going to be dabbling because I don't have a real topic than to say that we are only saying that the Yoruba campaign mo kí brother wa Busayo Abbas wọ́n ní ẹ kú ètò mo kí yín sà ẹ káàbọ̀ tẹ́ bá wa sọ fẹ́ lòmíì náà kẹ́ bá wa pín kò pọ̀ jù náà mo kí ẹ̀yin tẹ́ wà lórí mixlr torí pé mo mọ̀ pé bí bá ti ń wọlé lẹ́jọ́ ń wọlé mo ní Ògúnmọ́lá Abíọ́dún àjọ máa lọ jàmàlà kó bá wọn kó fi nǹkan sínú ẹ̀ àwa jẹ̀gúnfe tó dáa nílùú Ìbàdàn àmọ́ ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ ní Kóìkì máì tí lọ́lé iṣẹ́ tó ń ṣe lẹ́yìn odi à ń gbádùn ẹ̀ bàbá kan nígbà tí mo post oríṣiríṣi nǹkan ní alẹ́ mọ́rọ̀ lẹ́yìn ó ní shut up bàbá àgbàlagbà ni o lórí Facebook ó ní shut up come back home stop wasting your time which Yorùbá nation mo ní kò likely kò jẹ́ Yorùbá lélẹ̀ àwọn Fúlàní tó máa ń lò bí àṣà àròlé tẹ́ntẹ́n á ní àwọn Fúlàní àwọn ọmọ Yorùbá tí ìyá wọn ti lọ bá Fúlàní sùn tó ti bí wọn kalẹ̀ àṣà àti ìṣẹ̀lẹ̀ Yorùbá mo ń fi tọ̀wọ̀tọ̀wọ̀ kí yín ẹ rí pé ẹ̀rín pọ̀ nínú ilé ìta fi ṣe nítorí pé ó tó bẹ́ẹ̀ ojú bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ. Ẹ̀gbọ́n mi ìjáyàjáyà ní divide Nigeria now divide ó mọ̀ àwọn ọmọ mi ń ṣe athletics ìlú òyìnbó Ọlọ́run ìlú tó dùn ni ìyá fi ìlú òyìnbó sílẹ̀ ìyá wá sá lọ Nàìjíríà nítorí pé kí ni torí ó fẹ́ lọ jàmàlà pẹ̀lú plan B tí mo lè jẹ anytime nínú ilé mi ìyàtọ̀ kọ̀ ní pé tiẹ̀ máa fresh ju ti bíbá ẹ lọ. Àwọn ọmọ wa tó ń gbé nílùú òyìnbó ó ní ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ iṣẹ́ tó ti ṣe fún wọn látòrí pé kọ́kọ̀ délé kó gbé tábìlẹ̀tì fún wọn iPad làwọn ti wá ń lò nínú ilé wá login pẹ̀lú username àti ID wọn tó fún wọn láti school tó bá ti login báyìí gbogbo athletics wọn inú ẹ̀ ló wà mo kí ìyá wa Lé Àjàyí grandma ẹ káàbọ̀ sórí ètò mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin grandma mo kí ẹ̀yin olólùfẹ́ wa ẹ̀ ń bá wa pín ètò ẹ kì í láìkẹ̀ bò mo lè confam pé ẹ̀yin tẹ́ wà Nàìjíríà ẹ mọ̀ pé data ò ní parọ́ lórí Google jẹ́ kí n mọ̀ pé Kóìkì o Nàìjíríà ló ti ń gbọ́ ẹ jù Ọláyọmí Kóìkì ìyẹn KOIKIMEDIA inú Nàìjíríà lẹ ti ń gbọ́ mi jù á jẹ́ pé ẹ̀ ń gbádùn ètò yẹn bóyìnbó ṣe ń gbádùn tíì àti sìgá now kí ni mo fẹ́ fàyọ̀ ń bẹ̀ ni pé àwọn ọmọ wa tó ń gbé ní bíbáyìí àtàwọn ọmọ tó ń gbé ní Nàìjíríà kẹtó bíìtì wọn apẹ́ o kò ń ṣe pa fi ń dẹnu o nítorí pé àwọn ọmọ yẹn wọ́n ti fi gbogbo nǹkan tó lè jẹ́ kó easy wọ́n ti fi jíǹkì wọn. As an example, the tablet tó bá ti login inú ẹ̀ lọ ti máa ṣe mathematics inú ẹ̀ lọ ti máa ṣe English bọ́dẹ̀ ṣe ń ṣe ó ń connect padà sínú school wọn. Kódà by the time tó bá máa fi lọ sí school ní kejì teacher máa sọ fún wọn pé you did only 10, 20 lòun ní kò ṣe ó ṣe 20. This is what Baba Akintoye started with. Ẹ̀gbọ́n mi ìjáyàjáyà ó wá tún ní kí n sọ fún gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá pé ẹ jẹ́ ká divide Nàìjíríà kí àwa àti Biafra kájọ máa lọ gbá football nínú tournament káwa àti how many other nations tó fẹ́ kúrò ní Nàìjíríà kájọ máa lọ gbá football so that we can be able to have our own squad. Kò ń ṣe èyí tí a bá fẹ́ lọ represent Nàìjíríà wọ́n máa mú bẹ́ńdẹ̀ wọ́n á mú Haúsá wọ́n á mú Ìgbò wọ́n á mú Ṣẹ̀kírì ẹni tó bá dẹ̀ ní ISB dání. Mo kí bàbá wa Lukman ẹ káàbọ̀ sórí ètò lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí i. Bàbá mi Adékúnlé ní bẹ́ẹ̀ ni wọ́n ní tó bá jẹ́ pé the last data àwọn máa reserve fún KOIKIMEDIA àwọn ọmọ òbí wọn máa jáde àwọn ọ̀dẹ̀fẹ́ gidi ẹ má borrow data o ẹ̀yin tẹ́ ń borrow data èmi ò kì í ṣe give away I wish I can but hopefully lágbára Ọlọ́run nígbà tí Yorùbá bá dé stage kan nínú ìrìn àjò yìí maybe we can buy a satellite in the space eléyìí tó ń fìdí rẹmirẹmi báyìí kí ló wá ṣẹlẹ̀ báyìí maybe we can buy a satellite and that way we can use that to connect with each other. And I think that would be the best option. But for now, àwọn kì í fún yàn ní data ní bíbáyìí, a kì í ṣe give away. But ní bíbáyìí, the only give away I can give you is Yoruba Nation campaign. If you can take that, if you can accept it, it will be in the interest of gbogbo ọmọ Yoruba. But we are not forcing it on anybody. We are not saying don ẹ láti accept ẹ lọ́wọ́ wa. But one thing is, it is in the interest that if we do not divide Nigeria, Nigeria will be divided eventually. Either you like it or not. Nigeria is a scam. It is also fraudulent with a frustration constitution policy and practice. Hey, wọ́n náà wọ́n ń gbọ́ mi láti òkè ògùn. Chop knuckle. Technology ò tí ì débẹ̀. Mo kí gbogbo yín ní òkè ògùn. Mo kí Governor Dàpọ̀ Abíọ́dún ẹ bá wa ṣe gbogbo títì. Wọ́n send video kan sí mi àwọn títì yẹn ọ̀dà rárá ẹ bá wa ṣe títì ẹ dẹ̀ fáwọn èèyàn wa lóúnjẹ bí ń pa àwọn èèyàn wa torí àwọn olówó ta fi fẹ́ anybody. Mo sì ń kí wa lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí àmọ́ ẹ jẹ́ ká kọ́kọ́ bẹ̀rẹ̀ ká lọ gbọ́ ibi tí ọ̀rọ̀ Yorùbá Nation táwọn kan ti mix it up. Ṣe fẹ́ dà lúrú ni ẹlẹ́wọ̀n mà làwọn eléyìí kẹ́ báwo ló ṣe ń ṣe yín kẹ́ èèyàn kan ní Babátúndé Ọpẹ́yẹmí tí mo fi tọ̀wọ̀tọ̀wọ̀ dárúkọ yín sáwọn ní Koiki congratulations to Osha for winning the court case. Ìta ṣe máa win ju court case lọ. One thing is the Yoruba Nation struggle remain peaceful. The Yoruba Nation struggle is not an armed struggle. It is just a right. Ìyẹn kan máa ń fún mi nílà ṣé kí n bọ́ ilé kí n kúkú máa dé yẹn ó náà pé yẹn máa ń wọ́n dé àbí. Thanks so much, we appreciate every single one of you. Fìlà yẹn tó bá mustache wá bíi ti Lord Lugard. I appreciate you, Apple Juice. May Almighty God continue to guide and be with us. We are not happy with the current situation of things in Nigeria, and I gotta be honest with you. We feel saddened that the lives of many Nigerians, regardless of whether you accept the movement or not, regardless of whether you accept to be part of the campaign or not. But one thing is, Nigeria has really taken us backwards. And it is time that we just say, maybe we should just sit back on the round table and discuss it. Mo tún fẹ́ padà sọ́dọ̀ ìyá wa, ìyá dáadáa tí a pè ní Àǹtí Rọ́pò. I remember when all the lies against their husband, pẹ̀lú àwọn ìyàwó wọn tó kù, tó bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ń parọ́ fún gbogbo èèyàn. As I was touching down in London, just after Chief was being detained, the first thing I was hearing was that Igboho was traveling with a fake passport. And I was trying to wonder, how did people get all these fake information, this narrative that is not confirmed? But what I saw later on was that there are people that do not like Dr. Oloyegbowo, and they are ready to do anything to pull him down. We can now confirm that under quote and unquote international law, Dr. Chief Sunday Igboho, thanks so much for the, that love as well. I remember Chief traveling back to Germany with that sign, love you all for being there for me. Because many people wants to know the real nitty-gritty of how Igboho was going to leave Benin Republic, which is not for public consumption. But what I can tell you is that just as many of you, thank you so much, Mr. Mohammed, I don't have any problem with this living in the North, but the only thing is we can all live together, and it is in the interest that we break the country. What I realize is that many people thought Igboho, from a lot of things that he has said, because aláwọn ọmọ wa tó ń gbọ́ èdè tá à ń sọ yìí bọ̀wọ̀ gbọ́ dáadáa, and we got to be honest, àwọn tinúlé wa náà à ń encourage wọn kó máa sọ díẹ̀díẹ̀. We're trying our best. But eventually, a woman stood with him, and that was Sister Rocco. Ẹ rántí pé àwọn méjèèjì lọ́jọ́ ń travel when Chief was detained. I was in the house before the traveling. I don't give too much details. It is not for public consumption. But I remember that just prior before the traveling, I was saying that we will all meet in Germany, and the wife prayed for it as well. And 2 years down the line, Chief was detained in Benin Republic. And some of us that knew that Chief wasn't done anything more than the fact that he just want the best. Thank you so much once again, Apple Juice, as you continue to give the diamond, the gold, the everything on the, TikTok. Chief is not the one creating problem in Nigeria, but many Nigerians thought it was just creating the problems. But we knew that Chief would be free, but we didn't know when exactly. And I remember why I said so, because Professor Banji Akintoye gave us the leverage on what we are doing today. The leverage started from
the Yoruba-speaking tribe of Nigeria has been accepted as the 45th member of the Unrepresented Nations and Peoples Organization. Leader of the Yoruba World Congress, Professor Banji Akintoye, says the membership represents a very important step in the collective quest of well-meaning Yoruba people to achieve the goal of dignity and self-determination.
It is my great pleasure and pride to inform you that the Yoruba nation has been admitted to the membership of UNPO.
This was in 2019. Thanks so much, Dizzy Man 123. And he says, we appreciate your contribution for the Yoruba self-determination struggle. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Babami, Egbomi Yemi Fatoke, Mr. Babatunde, thank you. We're streaming on through YouTube channel, but we are not getting as much of you subscribing with the second YouTube channel. Yeah, for a reason you don't know it, we will share the link. Just help us to subscribe on it. When we get the 1,000 subscription, I might probably just say, no problem anymore, but we need to get that 1,000. At the moment, we only have 600. That means Intel Walori Facebook, subscribe. Even if you're not watching it from there, we need to get the 1,000 as a backup, so that when we don't pray to have any more problem with our KOIKIMEDIA. But to be honest with you, in 3 years, KOIKIMEDIA YouTube was reported continuously, not by individuals, but by Lai Mohammed. I have the evidence. Lai Mohammed reported us, reported Simon Ekpa, reported Nnamdi Kanu, and some few other individuals. Because the reason why mine was reported, because, my link with the Yoruba Nation and Oloye Igboho, because what we were told, I can get that information under freedom of information, but I'll keep that for another day. What we were told is that we were going to create problem before the election, and they should restrict us on the YouTube. But I've been able to fight that, and hopefully in the new year, the KOIKIMEDIA will get back to its normal track. But for now, I will be sharing the link of the backup channel, which we are streaming from as well. So, we have the two channels that is running simultaneously. We would then focus more on the KOIKIMEDIA. So we need to hit the 1,000. Can we get that end of this month? Charlie, promise Koiki, after any 1,000 subscription here now. You have 42,000 on one of your channel. Just take some of them and put it there. But the problem is people are watching us, but they are not subscribing onto the backup channel. So I'm going to be sharing the link. If you're not aware of that link, help us to go there and click on it. It's called the WD76. Remy Official, I cite you. If I don't wear my glasses, I can't see very well, but I think it's too much. Now, the reason why I have to remind us that video is 2019, because I don't want video what it declare Yoruba Nation and all that. Yoruba Nation is not yet a country in terms of around the world as a country that is going to start running, has been declared by some of those that have said we have declared Yoruba Nation. That is just, play, 10 years. But in reality, the movement is on the right track. Look, kudos to the lawyers. I've been able to speak to one of the lawyers behind the court case of Igboho from the ECOWAS. It's a privilege. I spoke to him tonight. Modupelo Babawa Gani Alagbala, and thanks so much as well to Iyawa Janet Fashaki. Many people say nothing is happening. But if nothing is happening, what led to this court case? Because some of us probably even don't know that there's a court case going on. One day, there will be these. Thank you so much, Apple Juice, for continuity of these. You also give me a Christmas today, not today. Thanks so much. I appreciate it. One day, the movement will get to another level where it will become much better. But in ten rule, di ogun. Nigeria. No, Nigeria. The federal government under this current administration just killed 150 innocent lives in Kaduna. That is a crime against humanity. So I want to remind us again that in 2019, Professor Adebanji Akintoye registered us under the UNPO, Unrepresented People Organization. We are not the only one in this organization. There's about 40-something of us, but we are the number 44. That shows that we are on the right track and we are doing what is needed, what is needful to become a country of our own. The federal government might not accept us as we are saying that we want to have an independent country, but inside, within them, I'm sure they're aware that it is the last thing that can resolve the tension, the fight among the Yoruba people, the Igbos, and the other ethnic groups in Nigeria. So when Baba Akintoye registered us, that alone indicates that the movement from day one, Baba Akintoye said it was never going to be violent. I understand that my own utterances might not have sit well with the federal government, because the federal government, Mokibabawa Oba Ogboni, it was nice to see him in London. Tomorrow, you will hear exclusive interview that he granted us before he left the party on Saturday, the Thanksgiving. I'm talking about Babawa Tajuddin Oba Ogboni. Baba Iwani no tutu in that interview. You will listen to it and the video will be uploaded. We'll see how we can manage the video, if the video will be able to show while I'm doing the Star Radio tomorrow. But if not, Egbo voice won't. But the real video will be circulated on all the KOIKIMEDIA platform. I am not the only KOIKIMEDIA. I have the backup team that are working day and night. We give thanks to one of our team that traveled to Ede. Ẹ̀gbọ́n mi kan wà lórí platform. He sent a 10,000 and I said, look, big ìgbà tó money 10,000 here. I understand some of you might think that this platform has big amount of money that we're using to operate. In a nutshell, we don't have it. And I'm being honest now. But when we come out and say support, sometimes that last little donation that you're giving us has literally helped us out. I don't want to be coming online and say, money the 30,000 naira. The money should be there. That is why BBC is going to increase its own fee next year. BBC will make £173 every year for TV license. You must pay it. So when people giving us diamond and all these things on TikTok, we also use it back, to fuel what we are doing. As I speak to you tonight, all this is going to be documented because you are dealing with a journalist. I have just paid for a good that I sent to my team in Nigeria. We paid for one 2 weeks ago. We have paid for another one tonight. You will see the better production of KOIKIMEDIA in 2024. I can assure you that. The team knows that at a meeting. They are aware of the things that are coming to them. A lot of things that will be helpful to them because when we are streaming, when we are talking, we want to make sure that our people can hear us. So Modupelowo KOIKIMEDIA team that traveled today to Ede, it was already at the bus stop as early as 5:30 a.m. Ọmọ tẹ̀rí stream láti Ede lénìí 5:30 ló ti wà ní garage. Bus will gbéra because in Nigeria the bus has to be full before they can move. Not like in UK, after 10 people they move on. After 10 people, 20 people, they move on. But eventually, it got to Ede in time before the event that you saw. Imagine, KOIKIMEDIA, we would not have seen the way the mother was buried. We love the way we saw the whole thing. That is the beauty of the media. But we plan to do more if your support comes to us. And this is why we are saying that help us to continue to share the program, support us no matter how small. Ní àná ẹ̀mẹ́jì ní ọmọ wa kan wọ́n náà máa sin mọ́mì yẹn lánàá ìyẹn màmá wa tó kú ó ti wà ní almost halfway wọ́n tún ní kò ní ṣẹlẹ̀ mọ́. But we don't get upset because that is the nature of the job that we are doing. So once again, all these means that your little contribution is not just only supporting us, it's also going to make us better. And you're also going to be challenging us. Also, if you're not aware, we are now part of Avon. It's a company that has been around for 135 years. If you see the link, buy things from them. I would also get a bit of percentage from it. It's as simple as that. This organization, you buy it from them, they send it direct to you. Many people know about Avon, only for those in UK. It's just that is the only way we can get funding from you. So maybe tonight, Koiki, okay, let's support you with something again tonight so that, like I said, I just paid, something tonight. And, it will show when I'm writing my book. And especially as we come back. TJ Baba, thank you so much. The family just left. I said to my wife, I'm not going to do any program tonight anymore. And my wife was challenging me, say, why? I was tired. No, you can't be tired though. Your people are waiting for you. Me, I'm going to bed upstairs. Thank you so much, Peter. You do your program, start early in case you want to go out because I'm going to be busy tomorrow. It's Wednesday. Now, let's come back to the real program. Yoruba Nation was never an intent to destroy Nigeria. Egbamidada. Yoruba Nation was never an intent to destroy Nigeria. It was just to bring the conscious mind of Nigerians to the current state of, okay, some of you think that it's going to be an election that will solve the problem. Why some of us say, no, election cannot solve the problem. And I hope that as 2027 is around the corner, and it is really around the corner, ọmọ Yorùbá kọ̀ọ̀kan gbọ́dọ̀ tú sọ pé òun fẹ́ lọ dìbò. If we can agree and accept that, it will make our job very faster. Moke Egbomi Jaya, he said the time is now to divide. We don't want to wait till things get a little bit escalated. This is the reason why we are campaigning rigorously all the time. I know that the movement got divided. Nobody can distract us. Nobody can take the movement away from us. Thank you so much to the backup team. And if you're wondering how you want to support, you can send it through the PayPal. Every details is on our website, or you can just follow those information being posted. If you're not too sure of anything, just keep the money and try and get in touch with me. Also, Tebani phones, second-hand phones, a wipe it off. Mr. Koiki, where do we send it to? I will receive it. I have 15 staff. I've sent 4 phones already. I know where one bomb by anything, but not all of them can get it because, as you all know, it's only 4 phones. I have to even release one of my own phone in UK because it has now get to the stage where they're not having the phones. Not that they don't have phones before, but all stream, Ojabo, Nigeria, Nepa, Otiba, charging port, fix. So I've sent 4 phones to Nigeria right now. Out of the 15 of them, I'm not going to tell which one is going to get the phones, but the phones will be received to them latest in the next couple of days. And we've sent other things that is going to be useful for the broadcasting that we do, just like when I'm doing it in the UK. We want them to be perfect, and they know what I want. They will not stream and get you like this. The reason why Tieshiri Omowato stream by Leni, he had to change the phone to somebody's phone because his own phone was overheating. I don't like them when they do broadcasts like this. It has to be like this. But I know I'm doing it like this because, my laptop is still being worked on. Now, nobody's coming to save Nigeria. That is a fact. Kò sẹ́ni kankan tó máa save Nigeria. Àwa la máa save ara wa from the current state of Nigeria. I listened to Jimo Lunje. There's a guy called Jimo, one of your senators in Nigeria. Senator Kineko Jimo is on those states, senator. Látọ̀dọ̀ àwọn màmá wa Comfort, Ogun, Yami Comfort. Let me say this. It was on Sean Kimbaloye's program, I think 2 days ago, on Politics Today. He was defending Tinubu budget and says that we need to borrow more money because he was using the iMac of America. No, America, no, Dubai. He says that Dubai is 12 million. And at the moment, Dubai has borrowed over 164 billion US dollars. There's nothing wrong in that. But I'm sure many of you and so much of me, I would prefer to live in Dubai than live in Nigeria. How many people, apart from the fact that Dubai is not a place that, allows Nigerians to renew their documents. It's one of the countries right now, in the last 2 years, Nigerians have not been able to renew their papers. If you haven't gone through immigration like myself, you will not feel the impact and the pain of going through that process. It took me 15 years to get my status in this country. And I can feel the pain of people in different countries. And they are struggling day in, day out to survive. Moki Silver Badmos. Emma Binupo comment because I'm monitoring all the comments through different platforms because I'm streaming on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different platforms. We're streaming. Moki Babami Boye, Babada, Granddad. One good evening. God willing, Yoruba nation will stand. Nigeria is a goner, not like Arsenal. Nigeria is gone. It's an hopeless country. Very, very hopeless. Dadiwa Ayodele Adele Yesokwe, thanks for your leadership and courage. Professor Akintoye said Yoruba nation is the only option, is the noble path and the noble goal. That was what I was looking for. Let me remind us, Mukiba Baba, Mr. Idowu, so I'm just picking some of the comments as I see them. Kunle Bakers, whenever he comes in, he sends us his own super chat. It's been a while that we've received this thing, since April. We lost, our monetization, but at the moment, the backup channel seems to give us that privilege at the moment. So since April, we couldn't make money from the super chat. So when I see that 10 pounds like that, like, oh my God, 10 Canadian dollar. And that is Kunle Bakers. If I come out 3 times, it does that all the time. I'm sure some of you wants to do as well. Maybe if you go on the backup channel, you'll be able to send us that little gift. We don't have it on KOIKIMEDIA because, like I said, KOIKIMEDIA lost its monetization since April. When people are saying, it looks like these guys asking for money, BBC will be increasing their TV license to 173 pounds from 159. I didn't even know that they freeze it from 2 years' time. So don't look at it as somebody that is looking for money. No. Media needs to be funded, properly funded. Channels Television is funded. Al Jazeera is funded by the Qatar government. CNN is funded. Globalcom advertise on CNN. They make a lot of money. Sky News makes a lot of money. Fox News make a lot of money. So somebody's asking for the latest. The latest is the Yoruba Nation is still an ongoing movement. Ashiwa Lori Rinhajo. That is the latest. The latest also is that Igboho won the court case. Maybe I know most of you switch off your data and come back in. As I say all the time, this movement, the expectation was that it would be dead long time ago. Kosin attempt, to distract the movement. Every now and then, you say, look, spiritually, we're fighting a spiritual fight. It's not physical. The major fight that we are fighting is spiritual. And everybody that has the third eye can tell you that. Africa is a place that if it gets opened up, it will expand, it will accelerate, and the best of Africans will never travel to Europe anymore. I'm talking about the next generation. This is what we're fighting for now. In Tanja Lene is so that many of us will not have to travel out of Africa ever again. I have lost 25 years of my life living in Europe. I do not pray for the next generation in the next 200 years to come and live in Europe for 25 years. It is not who we are. I will be dead in 200 years. I don't know about you, or probably even 100 years from now. Most of us will be dead. But I'd like to put 200 years so that it captures every single one of you, including Omotomashe Bilano. Think about it. Peter Pan just posted something. The UK is tightening their immigration. And they are going to tighten it up. I pray you get to UK in time before it gets tightened. If you're coming on the student visa with a master to do in this country, you will not be able to come with your dependent. The question is, why should we even want to come with our dependent if our country was working? The net migration for them is growing, but the danger that they created on the other side is biting back. And it is time that we tell the Europe that we are not going to sit back and allow them to make us become fools of ourselves. Forget about all these, Akinwumi Adesina that put on the bow tie and say, I'm the chairman or president of the African Development Bank. We want to run a Yoruba economy that can compete with any part of the world. But when you listen to people like Senator Jimoh, I want to get his full name, in Ondo State, Baba Noluwa Tobi Olushesi Mokinyi, Babawa Ganiu Taufik, Babawa Lawale Alabi. Yes, Jimoh Ibrahim represents Ondo Senatorial District. I think he's a billionaire. Billionaire from where? What is he producing? when you say he's a billionaire, is he producing something? Is he into tech? Did he make his money from knowing someone within the politics of Nigeria or politicians? Many people that you're calling billionaire, as far as we are concerned, they can't give you how they started and even the impact of that billionaire in Ondo State. And as Peter Pan said, immigration, Nigeria will learn the hard way why they should support Yoruba and Oduduwa nation. Europe is moving to the artificial intelligent economy. So many jobs will be AI. I was in a meeting with my union yesterday, the National Union of Journalists. We were discussing the AI. Yoruba nation tí ẹ rò pé ó máa mú ìjà wá sínú Nàìjíríà. Òun kọ́ ló fẹ́ mú ìjà wá sínú Nàìjíríà. In tó máa mú ìjà wá sínú Nàìjíríà fún rẹ̀, òun ni ebi àti àìní òtítọ́. Kò sí òtítọ́ kankan nínú Nàìjíríà. Mo kẹ́gbọ́n mi gbẹ̀du. Kò sí kí ni mo sọ, kò sí òtítọ́ ẹyọ kan nínú Nàìjíríà. Òtítọ́ tẹ́ ń rò pé wà nínú Nàìjíríà is never going to be there. Someone sent me something, I picked it up and I went and checked it out. P-A. How many people have heard about this before? Pengi. I'm going to pronounce it in the way I can. It is spelled P-A. Emabam if you see in the comment section. P-A-G-E-A-R. Or, no, sorry, I'll take it out again. P-A-N-G-E-A. I'm going to now put it in a way that I want to in Europe and America and the rest of the world, and most of you in Nigeria will probably understand. Papa Alpha November Golf Echo Alpha. Somebody sent that. It's the first time I'm coming across this myself. This is why we must continue to learn a lot. Pengi, P-A-N-G-E-A. Ìyá mi Yeti Queen, báwo ni lecture ṣe ń lọ, mo kàn monitor yín ni o, bí monitoring spirit ni o. 1 week in lecture. Many Yoruba women doing very well. Okay, somebody say Pangaea pronounce. Well, I don't know, but it says P-N-G-E. I'm going to read a little bit about it. This struggle, for some, it's just going to come and it's going to go. Some of you never thought that we will still be standing. Some of you thought that we will fade away. Some even said that since Tinubu has been in power, nothing much has been done. A lot of people are saying different things and different things and different things. But one thing that is making us unique and different is that Ashidro Lori pé Nigeria bó ṣe wà yẹn nígbà tá ti rí gbogbo evidence based mo kí Bashegun, a very hardworking Yoruba man, wọ́n parọ́ mọ́, wọ́n sọ oríṣiríṣi, they almost destroy him as well, but he never gave up. And today he's still standing. And I'll tell you that Bashegun is doing a lot of work behind the scene that some of us might not see within the next 1 year. These are scholars that are working quietly. He has told me what he's working on. By the time all these things start materializing, the world has no other option than to listen to the right of the Yoruba people, the Biafrans, the Arewa, the Middle Belt, and many people. Yes, you're right. You got it right there. I'm going to pin it, Alan Conde. P-A-N-G-E-A. How many people have heard about that word before? Mokiele and Consent Lori Mixela. Shout out to those of you on the Twitter. We are fully locked in. We're not going to be here all night, but we will try to do as much before we go to bed. When that person sent the video of these penguin, I went to watch the video and I was like, what is this all about? So I Google it because that is the only way you can learn. And while I Google it, I went straight to the United States Geological Survey. And I'll tell you what I read inside. Ẹ̀yin tẹ́ jẹ́ ọmọ Yorùbá tí ẹ̀ ń wish pé ká má kúrò nínú Nàìjíríà. Maybe a lot of us àìtí mọ̀ pé àwa gangan la di ayé yìí mú in that part of the continent called Africa. Tí ìran Yorùbá náà ti jáde nínú ẹ̀. So for the fact that you want to build in Nigeria, it is not going to be buildable anyway. It is all going to be lies, and many of us will die along the line. Just go back and look at how many people have died within your own household or your friends, your network, your colleagues, and ask whether they benefited anything out of that continent before they died. Maybe some, one or two doing very well, but they've left nothing more than the fact that they've left rubbish for us to deal with. Ikú bàbá yèyé, ọba kì í kú, but he has passed on. But ẹ bèrè lọ́wọ́ ara wa pé, why did they not finish the job? Ṣé àwa náà fẹ́ dúró halfway? Mo kíyà mi Beauty underscore mọ̀ pé it was nice to see you as well, as I met many people on Saturday. Like I said, we are not ghosts, and we might be on the social media, but we are talking to real people, not artificial intelligence. Mo ṣì ń sọ pé the struggle is still unique. I've had people say, Koiki, things have slowed down, things is not working the way we want to see it. There's always I'm looking at it from different angle now. Some have even complained about different things that is not going to come into the forum. Alhaji Sanusi Mokin, Salaam alaikum, sir. But let me first say this. Our Yoruba campaign, we are campaigning against the evil demons of the world. We are dealing, look, Yoruba nation, we are trying to challenge the status quo of the world. We are trying to challenge the status quo. As we all believe in one thing or the other, the world that we are living today, this planet, there are people that wants to control it, and they are not ready to let go. So saying that you want to break away from what they are controlling is a big deal for them. They can literally kill anyone for it. Spiritually now. They don't care how many people will die anyway. You just have to close your eyes and see as many of crime that is happening in our lifetime today. I don't want to touch those areas, but did you echo command pé níbo lógún ṣẹlẹ̀ lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ nísìn? Ìyá mi Dúpẹ́ Agboola tí mo fi tọ̀wọ̀tọ̀wọ̀ dárúkọ grandma. We are dealing with a very big force. Forces. Forces. There are some powerful forces in this world from the spiritual side. Why do you think that you will not break away from the problem? It's because whether we agree or not, there is something holding us from progressing in life. But Iran Dawa is a different breed entirely. We are a different breed entirely. Look, while some of you are fighting to save Nigeria, these breeds of others, they are already duplicating who we are, one way or the other. I'm not going to go into all the details, but there are certain things that they are doing to make sure that, okay, let me put it this way. Moti sọ̀rọ̀ pàdé mi kan rí níbí báyìí. Ọmọ Monsurat ni. I have to bring him on the program one of these days. It's been a while I've seen him. His name is Clyde. He believes in the astrology things of life. Ọmọ Monsurat ni. What we are seeing today is that the world itself, my map is somewhere behind me. I love to show it when I'm talking about the world. The world that we are living today, there are people that care less whether you survive or you don't. It is entirely up to us now as indigenous people to survive this world, if we want to remain in existence after every one of us have departed. Don't joke with this. We can literally go into extinction. I know we play too much, we sometimes mo ti rí ọ̀kan láàrin ní bíbá tó ti bú mi nísìn, mo kàn refuse láti respond sí ni. I'm talking about Yoruba people going into extinction. We will go into extinction if we are not careful. I don't know what you think about that. Mo kí our Grace Olúṣòótọ́, rí nínú prayer lálẹ́. Aláàfin lálàáfíà. Ìran Yoruba can go into extinction if we do not take care of who we are right now. And forget about àwọn ọba. As far as I'm concerned, ikú bàbá yẹ̀yẹ̀ ti lọ, ọba ti wàjà, but they've left us in this demonic world. They have what it takes to fight back. In táwa gbé dání tá a ránṣọ yìí, Ọlọ́run Elédùmarè, whether ti Jesus Christ, whether ti Muhammad, whether táwọn onílẹ̀ wa, òun ló ń fi ṣẹ̀ṣọ́ wa o. We are fighting a big fight, but a lot of us are not seeing it from that angle. Kò ń ṣe gbogbo nǹkan tí ó ń lọ nínú ilẹ̀ Yorùbá ni mo mọ̀, but a lot of things have been done in a way that if we do not fight it now, àwọn tó wà nílé ò ní gbọ́ Yorùbá nation láíláí. They will continue to tell them that Nigeria is the best option. All hail Biafra. Aside to now. Bear with us now, Yoruba did plenty for this competition tonight. I am not fooling. They don't care if our race goes into extinction. How do we protect it? Who are we? Ìjà ti bíra wa rí. Who are we? Ta ni wá gangan? Ta ni wá? Who are we? Are we just people that they say we are? Ìyá mi grandma Dúpẹ́, mo kí bàbá wa Àríyọ̀ Ọlámídé tí mo fi tọ̀wọ̀tọ̀wọ̀ dárúkọ dáàdì. Gbogbo yín bàbá yìí, mo mọ̀ pé gbogbo yín púpọ̀ nínú yín ẹ ti wà in their 50s, 60s, ẹ ti ní grandchildren. Kọ́lọ́run ìbà Elédùmarè kó má jẹ́ ká sunkún àwọn ọmọ wa nígbà tó pọ̀lọpọ̀ wa tá bá ti lọ. I'm talking about the next 200 years from now. Mo ṣì máa padà sórí penguin yẹn. Mo fẹ́ link ọ̀rọ̀ yìí mọ́ ọ̀kan tí mò ń sọ ni. What? Let me put it this way. Some 200 million years ago, kí lẹ rò pé ó ṣẹlẹ̀? Some 200 years ago, 200 million years ago, what do you think was happening? And what do you think has changed? Anybody has an idea? Some 200 million years ago. I ṣáà ti gbọ́ nípa dinosaurs. How many people have heard about dinosaurs story? Now, kìíní kan wà tó ń pè ní dinosaurs. Àwọn yẹn dàbí nǹkan ńlá. They've been wiped off away now. How many people have heard about dinosaurs before? Just say yes or no. Grandma Felicia Ajagbe mo fi tọ̀ọ̀tọ̀ garúkọ. Bàbá mi Bùsáyọ̀ Abbas. À ń kí àwọn èèyàn bó ṣe ń wọlé kíkí pọ̀ nínú ètò talẹ́. Mo kí ìyá mi Fọláṣadé Shande ẹ káàbọ̀. Ẹ right bàbá mi Gbàmílà Ọlámilékan. That is the spelling. Okay, I think that spelling, Silver Badmos, good evening. Pengi, ẹ bá mi retype again. It's P-A-N-G-E-A. Bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣe spell ẹ̀kọ́ nìyẹn. Mo fẹ́ pin ẹ̀ mọ́lẹ̀, but ẹ bá mi tó kọ again. How many people have heard about dinosaurs? Dinosaurs that turn into our Nigerian politicians, Mr. Peter Pan. Okay, yeah, Emax Media, thanks so much. Yeah, that's the spelling for the penguin. I'm gonna link or because I've read a little bit about it, And I want to just see if some of us can also start thinking out of our little brain, because brain yìí ó tóbi gan. Ẹ ṣé gan ìyá mi Comfort Adélẹ́yẹ. Mo wá kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin grandma tẹ́ ń wá concern Koiki, àwọn nǹkan tẹ́ ń gbọ́ níta ó ń bà yín nínú jẹ́. Kò sí nǹkan kan tẹ́ fẹ́ gbọ́, ẹ má kí nǹkan kan bá anybody nínú jẹ́. Yoruba nation is on the right track and there's nothing that can stop it. Èmi kọ́ ni mò ń sọ̀rọ̀, kò sí nǹkan kan tó lè stop ẹ̀. Kò sẹ́nìtìn tó lè stop ẹ̀. Let's go to what is penging. Penging, and I'm reading this now from the United States government website. We're talking about science now, okay? Or be science like anything. What is penging? P-A-N-G-E-A. Let me first put the link out for the benefit of whoever wants to go and find out. Mokiya mi Oluwatoyin, because I'm Biba ó mà tójọ́ ẹ ti fàṣẹ lọ ìyá yìí o. Ẹ máa get in touch pẹ̀lú wa o, torí ẹ mọ̀ pé gbogbo ìlú tẹ̀yin wà yẹn, àwọn ìlú yẹn máa ń dẹ́rù bàyàn. Kọ́lọ́n bá ń ṣọ́ gbogbo ẹ̀yin sisters wa tẹ́ wà ní gbogbo àwọn Arab countries lọ́hùn. Wà látà olórí ẹbí wa nìyẹn. Kò yọjú sí mi lẹ́nu ọjọ́ mẹ́ta yìí ni. Àwọn ẹ̀mọ́ ẹ̀kí tó tọrọ ibi tó ti ń ṣiṣẹ́ wọ́n ti bá ń lò pa. Kọ́lọ́n máa jẹ́ ìlú ẹ̀ pa. Walata is the ancient supercontinent comprising all the present continent joined together, which began to break up 200. Oh my God! Walata ti ó ti fún yín ní tí mo fẹ́ sọ ẹ̀jẹ̀ ń pín ẹ̀ mọ́lẹ̀. Link yẹn mo fẹ́ sí síta yẹn. Mo ní orí ètò yìí ẹni mídíà tó dáńtọ́ dáadáa. Ọlọ́àbá wa mo mọ̀ pé iṣẹ́ ni mo kí àwa Olúwatóyìn Akínmùrún, mo kí gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá tí wọ́n ń ṣiṣẹ́ pẹ̀lú PDP APC. Àwa ò bínú sí yín, kọ́lọ́n jẹ́ kó tètè yé yín pé àwa gangan la délé ayé mú, bọ̀wọ́ ti gbà kúrò lọ́wọ́ wa. Ẹ̀yin tẹ́ bá súnmọ́ gbogbo ọba ilẹ̀ Yorùbá, ẹni mo parọ́ lórí show pé ṣáwa la délé ayé mú, pé ṣé Yorùbá ló délé ayé mú, àti pé ilé ayé tá à ń sọ yìí, ibo gangan ni pointer wà, equator ayé, this world, ilé ayé tá à ń wò yìí. Wàsálẹ̀ rẹ̀ pa gbé dání ni. Iṣẹ́ tá gbé dání yìí, iṣẹ́ tó lágbára gidi ni. Ọpẹ́lọpẹ́ ìyá wa, àwọn ìyá wa kan náà bọ́ra sí wò àwọn ṣàdúrà fún wa. Ìyẹn ló ń dá nǹkan dúró lọ́dọ̀ àwọn náà hùn. Wàláì tàláì símọ́ bí láì làzílà hùwà. Ẹ bèrè lọ́wọ́ balẹ̀ Yorùbá tó ní confam lọ́wọ́ pé ìran Yorùbá ta ni wá àti pé níbo ni equator wà in the world. Mo káwọn ẹ̀gbọ́n mi ní Australia, New Zealand, ẹ̀gbọ́n mi kan pè mí ní last week. A dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ gbogbo yín. So link yẹn ni mo post síta yẹn fún àǹfààní ẹ̀yin tí ẹ bá fẹ́ wò. Mo ti post ẹ̀ sórí page wa kan, màá post ẹ̀ sórí the other one in a minute. Mo dẹ̀ post ẹ̀ lọ sórí Facebook báyìí. Mo fẹ́ ká kẹ́kọ̀ọ́. What is penging? Walata ti brief wa díẹ̀, but màá ṣàlàyé in a minute. What is penging? Mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin olólùfẹ́ wa. Mo máa ń kí sister mi, àwọn lọ́ọ̀yà wà láàrin wa. A dúpẹ́ fún olóyè pé èní jẹ́gẹ́ bí intatin sọ pé olóyè ò kì í ṣe ọ̀daràn. Ọ̀daràn ni federal government tó gbé bọ́ǹbù tó jù sáàrin èèyàn tó pààyàn. Olóyè jẹ́ kó yé mi pé gbogbo ìgbà tá bá ti ń lọ ṣe rally kí n tẹ̀ fáwọn ọmọ yẹn létí pé kò sẹ́ni kankan tó gbọdọ̀ fọwọ́ kan ọlọ́pàá. Woman died and 2 in East London. Died kí ló ṣẹlẹ̀ East London. Power media oríṣiríṣi breaking news. 13 minutes ago, there's a shooting in Hackney. Woman dead and 2 injured in Hackney. Officers attending along with paramedics from the London ambulance services found 3 people with gunshot wounds. Mo sọ fún yín pé ìlú yìí tó láyàtà lọ ń jókòó pẹ̀lú àwọn ọmọ yáàdì The 42-year-old woman died at the scene while a 20-year-old man and a 16-year-old boy were taken to the hospital. This is just 13 minutes ago. A 42-year-old woman has died and 2 others have been injured. This is in UK. Mẹ́wàá ṣẹlẹ̀ o. Ẹnìkan ló mọ̀ mo ka article mo ka story kan náà. Ṣé pépà tèmi ní? Má bínú máa padà sọ́dọ̀ penguin yẹn. Ẹ mọ̀ pé lórí ètò yìí pépà tèmi ní. Mẹ́wàá ṣẹlẹ̀ o. Ẹnìkan ló mọ̀ ni o. Family tẹ̀ ń wò yìí. Mẹ́rin ni wọ́n. Àwọn ọmọ wa ò ní lọ kó sọ́wọ́ lọ́wọ́ o. Ẹ̀yin ìyá wa tẹ́ máa ń ṣàdúrà ẹ jọ̀ọ́ mo bẹ̀ yín tẹ́ bá ti ń pè sórí ètò ẹ yé máa fi ọ̀rọ̀ Christian àti Muslim fi ṣeré. If that is the only thing they believe in, please let them continue to pray and believe in their faith. If that is the only thing they believe in. Ọmọ wa ọkùnrin àtọbìnrin ò ní ṣílé lọ o. Ẹ ṣàmì ọ̀dà. Pé journalist lèmi. Tí mo kọ̀ rí láàárọ̀ yìí mo kọ̀ tún rántí nígbà tí mo rí headline eléyìí tó jáde ẹ̀rọ kó pọ̀ lórí fóònù mi ni mo ṣe lọ sórí Google ọmọ jáde nísìnyí. The next of kin of the process have been informed. A 20-year-old has been taken to the hospital. The first has launched a murder investigation. There is no arrest. And tó yìnbọn ti lọ́ntì ẹ̀. This country not safe as well o. Ọkàn bẹ̀ Ọlọ́run ni o. Ẹ má bí London acne òun náà ni mo ṣàkàṣẹ̀kà tán ní ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀gàn yá wa. Picture tẹ̀ ń wò yìí. Àwọn mẹ́rẹ̀ẹ̀rin pẹ̀lú ọmọ yìí ó di mẹ́rin. Ọmọ yìí ni ìyá ẹ̀ wà ní bíbá. Tí kò tí wàá yé mi ni pé bíá ìyá ẹ̀ náà bíá lesbian ni I don't know but wọ́n ní partner ẹ̀rọ pé Louis àwọn fi sọ̀rọ̀ lọ Syria yẹn. Then their grandmother bọ̀bọ́ ìpa mẹ́rẹ̀ẹ̀rin ni o ní last year ó pa àwọn mẹ́rẹ̀ẹ̀rin sínú ilé. Ó pa wọn chop wọn sí wẹ́wẹ́ ní UK. Èmi ò tẹ́ gbọ́ story yẹn rí mo ṣe kà ní pépà lẹ́nìí ni. Ó pa wọ́n ni o. The whole family were killed. Knife man slashed girlfriend and her family to death for sacrifice. Sherry sacrifice tẹ gbọ́n bíbá ẹ̀. Bó ṣe ń ṣẹlẹ̀ don sacrifice àwa náà lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ nísìnyí o. Èmi àti Wàlátà máa ń sàn kankan. Tí Wàlátà bá wá bíbá tá a bá jókòó lẹ́ẹ̀ máa ń jẹ oúnjẹ báyìí oúnjẹ máa ń rẹpẹtẹ ní ó bá ti dé báyìí ní ságbọ́dọ̀ tẹ̀ bá gbọ́dọ̀ róyán olórí ẹbí ni kò gbọ́dọ̀ wá sínú ilé ká má sọ oúnjẹ. Ìyàwó mi dẹ̀ ti accept ẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀. Ojoojúmọ́ ló ń gbẹ̀jẹ̀ nílùú yìí o. Bó ṣe ń gba ẹ̀jẹ̀ nílé náà lọ ẹ̀jẹ̀ kan lọ́tútù gbà ní acne yẹn. You don't have to accept it but it is all spiritually intake. I'm not here to sell that to you, but àwa níbi táwa ti gbọ́n dé nílùú yìí nísìn. Ojúmọ́ ló ń gba ẹ̀jẹ̀ nílùú tí mo gbé indirectly ni o. I'll leave that for us to compound on. A man called anything could get into him. Just like bá ṣe ń sọ fáwọn èèyàn wa pé Yorùbá máa lọ into extinction. Wọ́n ní shut up, irọ́ ló ń pa. Ní London, kéèyàn wọnú ilé kó pa èèyàn mẹ́rin tó dẹ̀ gé wọn sí wẹ́wẹ́. Ẹ wá ní ojú lásán ni. Mo wá ń ṣàdúrà pé Ọlọ́run ní jẹ́ kọ́ ọmọ yín lọ gbérò èèyàn báyìí wá sí ilé ẹ̀ ṣàmì ẹ̀ ṣàṣẹ ẹ rò pé mò ń ṣeré. Ní London, kò ń ṣe outside London lélẹ̀ ti ṣẹlẹ̀ o. A man slashed his girlfriend and 3 generations of her family to death in a drug and alcohol fuel bloodbath, a court heard. Joshua Jackie, 29 years old, told police after stabbing his 4 victims, I did them for sacrifice. Òun fi wọ́n ṣe kí ló ń pè sacrifice ní Yorùbá. Ẹ bá mi kọ sí ní comment section ní kíákíá. Kí là ń pè ní sacrifice nílẹ̀ Yorùbá? Ìyẹn kan wá jókòó sí Nàìjíríà ó ní rẹ́rẹ́ ọ̀run níbí báyìí. Àwọn èèyàn wá ń ṣàdúrà lójoojúmọ́. Ẹ wá ní kó máa ṣàdúrà. Ìpè ní kó máa ṣẹ́. Ó ti fi wọ́n ṣètùtù. Ìyẹn tó yẹ ká wá béèrè ni pé ṣé ó wà on his own àbí another demon ló wọnú ẹ̀? Ẹ mọ̀ pé àwọn kan máa ní èṣù kọ́ ni o, ẹ má pe èṣù sínú nǹkan tó ṣẹlẹ̀ o, ẹ lè máa ní devil, àwa la lè èṣù ní tiwa, kò sí ọkàn tó ràn pẹ̀lú èṣù o, ó ti fi wọ́n ṣe tutù dànù. Let's move forward further. Wọ́n ti fi wọ́n rúbọ, wọ́n ní fi wá rúbọ o. Ilẹ̀ Yorùbá tá à ń jà fún yìí, ó need a lot of cleansing. Àwọn èèyàn ní gbọ́ Yorùbá nation náà, ẹ má dákàdúrà o. Àwa ti ṣe kọjá lálẹ́ yìí, àwa mẹ́rin la wà nú ẹ̀, àtọdún 2 la ti ń ṣe, àdẹ̀ need anybody sí. Ìwọ náà lè dá tiẹ̀ lẹ̀. Máa jẹ́ kí èèyàn kan wá deceive ẹ pé ẹ̀sìn tèmi ló dáa jù, ẹ̀sìn tiyín ò dáa. Ibi tó bá ti ń ṣàdúrà, ọmọ torí bọbẹ o, kò sọ pé àmì o. Torí tọ́mọ ẹ bá lọ gbérò èèyàn báyìí wá, tí wọ́n ti gbé démọ̀nì sí lára, á pa anybody dànù ni o. Generation 4 ló ti pa o. So let's come back to the program again. Wọ́n ní fi wá rúbọ o. Gbogbo àwọn tó dẹ̀ filẹ̀ Yorùbá rúbọ, gbogbo ẹ̀yin tí ẹ filẹ̀ Yorùbá rúbọ, kò ń ṣàwa o, kò ń ṣàwa. Àwọn tó fi rúbọ mọ́ra wọn, àwọn tó torí pé ní táwọn fẹ́ jẹ́, tó fi dì ní Nàìjíríà, wọ́n ti filẹ̀ Yorùbá rúbọ. Ẹni káwọn balẹ̀ Yorùbá kọ́ wọnú ìgbàlà àbí whatever wọn, kọ́ go into that spiritual realm. Káwọn wá jáde, kọ́ wá sọ fún wa pé wọ́n ti filẹ̀ Yorùbá rúbọ. Yoruba land is in danger. Big, massive danger. And some of us do not care. Why some of us care? It's just 11 o'clock, so Okweju Agomejila Makparieto. So we have just about another 1 more hour to push the program. Like I said, we're just moving around. Moki Prince Ademola Heritage. Afipadà sórí what is Penge? Ẹ mọ̀ pé bí tí olúkálukú bá ní research ẹ̀ dé, lèèyàn mọ̀. Èmi náà pàdé rí. I'm just sharing about it today. So ẹ má rò pé mo ní knowledge ẹ̀ tẹ́lẹ̀. Èèyàn kan ló send ẹ̀ sí mi látòrí WhatsApp. Kódà ẹni yẹn ti sọ fún mi pé Mr. Koiki, ẹ gbọ́dọ̀ wá àwọn, ẹ mọ̀ kí bàbá Akíntóyè ti ní ká ṣàdúrà yẹn rí nígbà kan. Àwọn tó kó kúrò lọ́dọ̀ wa, tá máa ń pè ní wàhálà kí la máa ń pè àwọn èèyàn bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn. Àwọn generation tí wọ́n kó as slaves, àwọn the first set of people tó kó kúrò ní continent yẹn. Mo ń try láti orí fóònù mi ló wà. Intent yẹn try láti ṣàlàyé ni pé they are the set of people tó máa tètè gbọ́ àgbọ́yé Yorùbá nation yìí ju ọmọ Yorùbá gangan lọ. Ṣé àwọn ọmọ Yorùbá ní sí ọmọ tó ń pè ní slave trade? Mo kí bàbá wa Fab. Ọmọ Yorùbá tó ń gbọ́ mi lálẹ́ yìí nísìn kò mọ tó ń pè ní slave trade. But àwọn tí generation wọn tó wà ní Europe lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ l'Amẹ́ríkà tó mọ̀ nípa slave trade dáadáa, àwọn máa tètè understand ìta gbé dání ju ọmọ Yorùbá lọ. If I'm right, ẹ sọ pé ẹ bá ń fi sínú comment section. Àṣà àti ìṣe ilẹ̀ Yorùbá mú kí n dáadáa. Ẹ darapọ̀ mọ́ wa. Wọ́n ní fi wá rúbọ, but ilẹ̀ Yorùbá is in a big mess. Let's now go back into what is Penguin. From about 300 to 200 million years ago. Ṣé mọ̀ pé mi náà sọ pé in another 100 years, in another 200 years, ní sí níbí by more, mo kí Mr. Mark Stephen, bẹ́ẹ̀ ni, wọ́n ní fi wá rúbọ. Mo kí àtó bí mi lọ́mọ, mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin ìyá wa, ẹ̀yin bàbá wa, ẹ̀yin ọ̀dọ́ wa. Ètò ti bíbà, ètò ṣínilétí to the deep bone marrow. Débi pé mo fẹ́ yẹ kẹ́ lọ sùn, kẹ́ ronú sí dáadáa. That's why I don't touch a lot of things. Don't learn any different things that I say because I'm not going to be distracted. Tí bá fi máa ṣe skit, tí mo fi máa ṣe fẹ́, mo mọ̀ tí mo lè máa ṣe. But nígbà tí mo ti dáná níbí báyìí lórí ìjókòó ní 3 years ago pé iṣẹ́ tèmi gbé dání full time ni ó wà painful, we've lost revenue. Look, mo sọ fún wife mi pé an average iṣẹ́ tí mo máa ṣe nílùú yìí is £26,000 a year. A year nìyẹn ọdún kan. Tí bá wá lọ ṣe extra mo lè máa hit bí 35,000. Tí bá ń pa 35,000 every year ó mọ tèmi náà máa fi ṣe ni. But àti gbà ká mú fọlọ́n pé bí Elédùmarè ṣe sọ for now nìyẹn. £26,000. Mo mọ iṣẹ́ tí mo ṣe last, mo mọ tí mo what in terms of the basic. So kò ṣe pé àwa ń ṣeré níbí báyìí, tí bá fẹ́ ṣeré màá lọ ṣeré o. So when we are here, we are serious because in time discourse, it is something that ó fi jẹ́ ká mọ̀ pé ó important. Kò ń ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀. Ẹ bá fẹ́ lọ síbi tó ti ń ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀, ẹ fẹ́ lọ wo ṣẹpẹtẹ́rì, mo dán pè bẹ́ẹ̀, mo kàn máa ń gbọ́ ní 1.6K. Èmi náà wà bẹ́ẹ̀, máa ń wò lẹ́ǹkankan pé kí ló ń sọ bíbà. Ìtàwọn sọ bíbà yóò ń ṣeré o, kò ń ṣẹ̀fẹ̀ o. But discussing things that is going to have big impact on our lives in the next 200 million years from now. Because nígbà tó ń sọ pé 3 to 200 million years ago, àwọn wo ló ń exist níjọ́ náà lọ́hùn? Irú àwọn kan wo ló ń exist? Èní làwa rí, but in another 100 years, 200 years, 200 million years, what do you expect to leave behind? Tó bá jẹ́ pé gbọ́ bíbá tí mò ń sọ ìtẹ́lẹ̀ rí is a different thing. But for the fact that we are telling you that we are now living in a very, very demonic world, tí wọ́n fi jẹ́ kí ògo tiyàn kan kó dìde, wọ́n fi suppress ẹ̀ mọ́lẹ̀, and that is becoming a challenge between us and the other third faces or third eyes. About 200 to 300 million years ago, the late Paleolithic era until the very late Triassic, the continent we now know as North America was contiguous with Africa. Mo fẹ́ ká lọ wo meaning contiguous yẹn. I know the meaning, but mo kàn fẹ́ ká mú jáde. Mo kẹ́yìn ọ̀jọ̀gbọ́n tẹ́ wà lórí ètò wa. Kí là ń pè ní, mo fẹ́ kọ́ òbí ó lè fún mi ní sound ẹ̀ jáde. Tá bá ní, kí ló dé tí mo rí audio jáde?
Contiguous.
Okay. Once again.
Contiguous.
CONTIGUOUS. Charlie, Oscar, November, Tango, Indigo, Golf, Uniform, Oscar, Uniform, Sarah.
Contiguous.
Sharing a common border. Border kan ni ó mean sharing a common border. Next or together in sequence. Then people ask, what does contiguous mean in a simple term? Touching, connected, throughout in an unbroken sequence. Kí wọ́n sọ pé kí náà bí fúkẹ́fúkẹ́ ní àbá wà stress nílùú àwọn kìnnì kan wà tí wọ́n fi ṣeré tó máa mú dání báyìí. Mo ń bọ̀ kí ẹ kó ṣì wà nínú ẹrù tí mo gbàdé ọmọ bí agbègbè ni mo pín fún àwọn ọmọ yẹn. Ẹ̀rọ táwọn pen àwọn kankan tí mo gbà tí n bá ti rí lálẹ́ ọkẹ́ náà pé mo mọ̀ rí níbà. Now, yes, tí mo wà lélẹ̀ business show ta lọ ní 2 weeks ago. Now, this is because I love to show practical because in tole yeyan niyen. Now, contiguous. It is unbroken, right? Everybody agrees. After answer nípa meaning pengi ni o tó bá ṣe darapọ̀ mọ́ wa ẹ lè má understand ẹ má láti rewind. Now, the question is again, níbo ni ìran Yorùbá wà 200 million years ago? Ṣé a ti exist 200 million years ago? Is a question I'm asking now. Ǹjẹ́ ìran wa ti exist rí as far back as 200 million years ago? Yes or no? Ǹjẹ́ ìran wa yìí tá à ń sọ̀rọ̀ ẹ̀ nísìn ìran Yorùbá tá à ń sọ̀rọ̀ ẹ̀ lénìí ǹjẹ́ a ti exist as far back as 200 million years ago? Yes, a ti exist. No, a ti exist. I just want to see if the comment is going to come true. Mo kí gbogbo alẹ́ nǹkan sí o. Mo kí gbogbo àpò ẹ̀kálẹ̀ ẹ̀ka bọ̀ sórí ètò. Contiguous. Okay, Mr. Adeniyi àwọn nìkan ló wà lórí program wọ́n ní yes. Ẹ̀gbọ́n mi Ìjáyàjà sọ pé yes. Gbogbo àwọn tó kù all agree. It's good. So, we have just 3 people that says we have existed as far back as 200 million years ago. So the rest do not agree. Sharon tó agree pẹ̀lú wa. Ta ló bàbá mi Prophet Ogundele àwọn tí lè rí nínú ẹ̀mí àwọn kan lè rí nínú ẹ̀mí àwa nísìn inú ara làwa ti ń rí. Ìyọ́ládé Doyin wọ́n ní yes, okay. All right. Ẹ̀gbọ́n mi Yẹmi Fátókè àwọn ti sàlẹ̀ Èkó mo kẹ́yìn ti mainland. Mr. Olakayode. All right, we've got an average of people that said yes. Now, níbo ni ìran yẹn máa tún wà in another 200 years? Ǹjẹ́ à ń worry nípa yẹn nísìn? If we have existed 200 million years ago, ǹjẹ́ àwa concern pé níbo ló tún máa wà again? This is where it becomes interesting. Now, ẹ jẹ́ ká padà sórí Penguin. P-A-N-G-E-A. Papa Alpha November Golf Echo Alpha. Àwọn tí ó ní pronunciation yẹn ó ti yé wọn bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn. Jọ̀ọ́ tó bá pè wá lè understand. From about 3 to 200 years ago, the North America, ìtọ́ ń pè ní North America, mo kí ẹ̀gbọ́n mi ní Woolwich, was contiguous with Africa and South America and Europe. Ibi tó ń pè ní North America lénìí, wọ́n náà wà contiguous pẹ̀lú Africa. What does that mean for a layman? Báwo la ṣe lè break it down tó máa yé mi tó máa yé yín náà? Let's go further. They all existed as a single continent. Single continent ní gbogbo ẹ̀tẹ̀. Ojú kan báyìí ni kò sí border, kò sí pé tó bá dé America, ó yá show me your passport. Kò sí pé tó bá débì kan l'Africa, show me your passport. Ṣó ti ń yé nísìn? Now, à ń gbọ́ court immigration tó bá yẹ ó wà ní paper tèmi. UK náà wọ́n gbà mọ́, ẹ má wá sí ìlú àwọn ọmọ. Àwọn need anybody. Kódà ẹni tó bá máa wá nísìn, ó gbọ́dọ̀ máa earn 35,000. Yàtọ̀ sáwọn tó bá máa ṣiṣẹ́ nínú healthcare sector nìkan ló máa earn 26,000. If tí Nigeria bá dá lóòótọ́, why do we want to come here? Káwá sọ pé a fẹ́ máa earn. If you can earn 35,000 in Nigeria, equivalent, what do you want to come and do here? And even if it's just to clean elderly people, which is the basic, or kó wá nulẹ̀, kó wá gbálẹ̀, kó wá fọ toilet, I can stay in Nigeria and do that if there's dignity and if I am paid the equivalent to the exchange rate of the country. But today, many of us are not getting that because what a break borders. So right now, UK is saying that we will cut 300,000 migrants and end the abuse of care visa. My question then is, why not fight for the future of our own instead of trying to secure and save a country that is not in favor of who we are? Baba John Ogundele ni, as far God created the world we are. The question is, today, Mukiawa Fatima Mustafa, we have been told lies that Odigba to ba de UK lo ma sorire is lies. And I'll tell you why. Because sometimes maybe some of us are better off in that continent called Africa. Family kan aso lórí Star Radio ní àárọ̀ because I ti lọ sí jọ́kejì. Wọ́n ṣẹ̀ dé sílùú ní January. I don't know what has happened. Ọkọ àti ìyàwó ní Suffolk. Ọkọ yẹn pa ìyàwó yẹn sínú ilé. Àwọn ọmọ mẹ́tẹ̀ẹ̀ta ti wà lọ́wọ́ kí àbáyé nísìn. You're calling the volume is too low. Ẹ má bínú bí àtòrí ó wà far away from yín ni. Kò dẹ̀ sí nǹkan tí mo lè ṣe bí a kì í fi move ẹ̀ wá. Ẹ jẹ́ gbé ká kọ́ fi move yín wá síwájú. So kẹ́ kọ́ wá closer. I think it's better like that. I think it's better. Ẹ má bínú bàbá wa Dáríjì. I'm sorry God. So we have been told lies. Pé tó bá máa wá sí UK o, ṣe mọ̀ pé economy ti yín kò ṣiṣẹ́. Economy yín ó slow. But I need àwọn staff, but I need gbogbo yín. I need àwọn brain tó wà ládọ̀ yín. Ẹ fún wa láwọn brain yín. Káwọn brain yín ká wá máa send owó padà sílé. But ẹ máa go through borders before you get here. Now, this is just my own understanding. I might be wrong from what I'm reading here now. Again, màá tún rewind ẹ̀ padà kó lè yé wa, because nígbà tí mo ti fún wa ní the background of these, pé nígbà kan rí kò sí nǹkan kan tó ń pè ní border. Some years back, millions of years back, everything was open. Kí ló wá fà á tó di pé àti lọ Amẹ́ríkà wá dógún? Kí ló wà nínú Amẹ́ríkà tí a lè replicate sínú Africa? Kí ló wà nínú Amẹ́ríkà tá a lè replicate sílẹ̀ Yorùbá tó jẹ́ tiwantiwa? Bàbá Akíntóyè jẹ́ kó yé wa pé ní 1982 àwọn lọ sí South Korea. South Korea nísìn ti lọ fáfà jù wá lọ. Kí ló dé? Nítorí pé èdè kan náà ni wọ́n ń sọ, ẹ̀yà kan náà ni wọ́n. Ìtàn sọ́njọ yíra wọn, wọ́n lè jẹ́ kó move mountain. Nígbà tá a bá fẹ́ move mountain, Haúsá sọ fún wa pé má tí move ẹ̀ ṣe sùúrù díẹ̀. Nígbà tá a bá fẹ́ move mountain, Igbo máa náà fi gbalẹ̀. Because that's what we are saying. So we are being taken backwards instead of moving forward. And this is where we are saying that the world of today is a very, very wicked world. Ilé ayé tá à ń gbé nísìn is a wicked world, and they are not going to let anybody go until we push and break the door so that we can be free. To be free is a big task. And there is also hidden agenda. Mo kàn fẹ́ máa link àwọn ọ̀rọ̀ yẹn kí n má kọ̀ ka kíní ẹ̀ lọ gbùrù. Philippines, kódà àgbà tó ń sọ news yẹn, mo gbọ́dọ̀ mo láti sáré kọ́lẹ̀ kí n má lọ gbàgbé. Because tí bá wo news àbí tí bá wo TV, mo máa ń gbé paper mi sẹ́gbẹ̀ẹ́ mi. Philippines yesterday, nǹkan kan ṣẹlẹ̀ ní Philippines ìyẹn lánàá. In tó ṣẹlẹ̀ ní Philippines ti ṣẹlẹ̀ nílẹ̀ Yorùbá just last year. Onímọ̀kọ síbí báyìí. Bomb blast, Marawi City, Philippines, attacked by ISIS. Àwọn ọlọ́pàá ní ISIS, the Islamic àwọn terrorist group yẹn. Àwọn yẹn burú ju Boko Haram. Ẹ̀ṣẹ̀rí Boko Haram kékeré làwọn yẹn. Àwọn ilé fẹ́ wipe gbogbo ìtàn pè ní whoever you are. Ẹ lọ wo tó ṣe sí Syria. Ṣé mọ̀ pé Syria ní a lot of history. Ṣé mọ̀ pé the same people, I'm not going to call any country now because I don't want to, because of the nature of my job. Ṣé mọ̀ pé the same set of people that create this ISIS are the same set of people that doesn't want us to go. ISIS is not anything more than a father. It was created. What creates money? There's an hidden agenda to make sure that lọ́dọ̀ tiwa tá jẹ́ equator yẹn, àwa Yorùbá tá jẹ́ equator, we are not going anywhere. So they will do whatever is possible to disturb our mind. 1984 ni ìyá tó bí mi lọ́mọ ló kọ́kọ́ lọ sí South Korea. Ẹ wò gbà yẹn lọ́hùn. 1984. That was 2 years after tí bàbá Akíntóyè, bàbá dáadáa tó lọ ṣe presentation fún wọn. Pé àwa ní gbogbo nǹkan ní Nàìjíríà, kò ń ṣe pé nìkan la ní, a ní human talent, a ní kinní kan, a ní gbàwó. At the end of the day, they could not work with it. Don't come here and come and tell us about leadership problem. Nigeria is not about leadership problem. It is far beyond that. It is a spiritual problem that we must come out of if we are going to succeed. Nígbà tó ń interview military Philippine lánàá, I wrote it here. This is what I wrote. I know you cannot see it properly, but you can see that something was written there. I know it's reversed because of the way the camera will be showing you. It says, and I quote, ISIS attack on Philippines is threat to national unity. The attack that we are seeing by the Islamic jihadists, these terrorists, will never bring unity, even in the country. The same event that we saw yesterday that took lives of people in Philippines. I know a lot of you don't even know what is happening in Philippines. A Catholic mass was attacked. Few people died. Few are still injured. Shamakwe, we have the same problem in Owo. Shamakwe was a Catholic church as well, if I'm right. St. Francis Catholic Church, near Owo, near Ondo State. Are you thinking what I'm thinking? Let's go back to what is pending, because we are still about almost 50 minutes before the end of the program. My name is Olami Koiki. You're watching a live transmission. Adúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá tí à ń bá sọ̀rọ̀, because kò ṣe gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá là ń bá sọ̀rọ̀ tó ń gbọ́. They are not going to listen because they are under the influence of the world. They've literally held them backwards. It was a terrible incident. Philippines has been going through these as far back as 2017. There is an hidden agenda, and that hidden agenda means that some of those that we called our leaders, either through the political, whatever we call them in Nigeria, they've sold us spiritually and physically. We are all in bondage, including myself. Every single one of us is in bondage. Bondage yẹn kọ́ ó yàtọ̀ síra wọn díẹ̀. Alaba Richard, èèyàn ti KOIKIMEDIA, èèyàn ti gbowó ṣá, mo kẹ́ ẹ̀yin tẹ́ wà ní Luton, mo kẹ́ ẹ̀yin tẹ́ wà ní Dublin, mo dẹ̀ kẹ́ ẹ̀yin tẹ́ wà ní Canada, ní Turkey, ní Cyprus, mo kí ẹgbẹ́ ẹ̀yin tẹ́ wà ní Benin, ẹ̀yin tẹ́ wà ní Nàìjíríà, ẹ̀yin lẹ́ ń wò wá jù, ẹ̀yin lẹ́ ń náwó data, tẹ́ ń gbọ́ KOIKIMEDIA, and we love you, we appreciate you. We're almost there. I'm going to read a little bit further, then I'll do a little bit more analysis to my understanding. From about 300 to 200 years ago, the continent we now know as North America was contiguous with Africa, South America, and Europe. They all exist as a single continent called Pangea, Pangea. Pangea first began to be torn apart, on breakaway, started to turn apart. Ton, T-O-N-R. That means being don't break, don't lose. When a prolonged fissure grew between Africa, South America, and North America. Meaning fissure, F-I-S-S-U-R-E. Let's go and look at the meaning of such. Let me close some of these. Yeah. Overview, an anal fissure is a small tear in a tiny moisture tissue that line the anus. MOBT, I'm number 2. You want to think about don't spin here. So let's see if I can find a little bit more understanding of that. Fissure, F-I-S-S-U-R-E. Fissure, a long narrow opening or a tiny of breaking made by cracking. One itasi kobato. Kilo mashele. Oni Yoruba to man so. One itasi kobato láti ṣú. Kilo rogo mashele. That is the tissue. Many Nigerians will never understand what we are saying because they are influenced of a demonic world. They are influence of the demonic world because the real people that they are, they're never going to understand who they are because they've been told lies by the same world that is creating havoc in this world. 1984, Nimam Simiti lost in South Korea. Let's continue. Somebody also say, what is a fissure in the body? Or what causes fissure? But we're not going to go other area. So, Mukofe can understanding fissure here, because if I say it without giving us the understanding, a lot of us will get lost. Now, first began to be torn apart when three prolonged fissures grew between Africa, South America, and North America. Rifting began as magma well up through the weakness in the crust. I'm sure some of us understand the meaning of crust. Kuponwa manje bread, the crust, comment the crumbs, the crust. Now let's again look for the meaning of crust. The reason why I'm breaking it down like this is so that we can have a better understanding what we are dealing with. Crust, C-R-U-S-T. Don't know what is the delay.
Crust.
Yeah, crust. The tough outer part of a loaf of bread. And katabanje bread, amagbon, crust. Now, today, we are now told that to move from point A to B, we have to go through the borders. You have to go through immigration. Why are some borders better than other borders? Why do people want to leave Mexico and enter America? Mexico, okay. Why is 80? 80. Why is 80 in so much abject poverty, but they have a very, very long history? Why is people of our own suffering while the others? I don't want to use the phrase of dudu at pupa. I just want to use it as the humans. Have you ever asked that question? Why are they enjoying life while we are suffering? Leadership. It has got more to do with the way the world has put these lies to tell us that I want better to our law. The weakness in the crust creating a volcanic rift zone. So for us to understand that, we've got to click again the volcanic rift zone. Rift zone. Rift zone is future of some volcanoes, especially shield volcanoes in which a set of liner crack. There was a recent volcano. Ìlú ọ̀nà wọn ti sọ news ní orí Vantage náà mo ti gbọ́. Again, Google it. There was just a recent one that happened. Could have people died as well. Paper but my Google it and see my family answer. There was a volcano that happened. I know there's one that happened in Finland. Other one. Let's look at the news. Yeah, Indonesia. Indonesia volcano death toll rises to 22. Now, what we are being told now is that understanding the world today started breaking through the volcanoes, and when that happened, there was different thing that was opening up. That is why àwọn òyìnbó lọ fún exploration. The Portuguese went to exploration and they got to Ibitawawa and they started saying that àwọn ilé ìgbé ayé kan ní bíbá tálẹ́yìn báwo lẹ́yìn ṣe ń gbẹ́tà jù àwa lọ, and they started coming back. Eventually they took us as slaves and the rest is history. These are things that we should be taught in the school so that we can have a basic understanding. But what we are told now is and let us just fix Nigeria. Let us just work with Nigeria. Let us try and operate Nigeria. Look, how do you operate something that you don't even have the understanding of it? The death toll from the volcano eruption in Indonesia has gone up to 22 after rescuer found 9 body dead. Let's go back again to what was penging. We are now being told that the reason why there was a rift was because volcano eruption spilled ashes and volcano debris across the landscape as these several continent-sized fragments of Penge diverge. Now, we are not getting enough of these, I mean, we get little of what is happening around the world, but we hardly see wildfire. We are not seeing all these things happening. Why do you think they could share lọ́dọ̀ tiwa? Is it because ọ̀dọ̀ tiwa jẹ́ láti interlepe ní equator? Like she experiencing all these. I know we're experiencing poverty, but we're talking about, some of these deadly, volcano, kilo tó máa ń ṣẹlẹ̀ America, tornado, all these massive things that is happening there. Kí lẹ rò pé ó ṣe ń ṣẹlẹ̀ lọ́dọ̀ tiwọn tí ọ̀dọ̀ tiwa àwa wà kind of on the safe side? Why? So don't you think that they need that safe side as well? What we are just trying to explain is that I know it's a very deep conversation. I'll have to still come back and explain it. But today, if we refuse to accept the fact that the country that you are trying to secure and save is not for us, it is not literally designed for us, the territory belongs to us. We are meant to be the people controlling the world. But it is now the reverse until we leave the shore of our own continent before we become somebody. Like I said, Teba money by 80. Let us go and do some bit of research on it. I want to go back again into this. The gash between the spreading continent gradually grew to form a new ocean basin known as the Atlantic. Why do you think that omi? It is one of the most important parts. The fight going on in the Middle East today is going to escalate. How soon, I don't know. But I can tell you that the warship tó wà nínú region yẹn lénìí, warship tó ń bẹ nínú region ní tá à ń pè ní Middle East yẹn, ó ní agbára. And as things goes right now, some of us that are just not really talking, I'm following it, but I'm not talking about it because I know eventually, if care is not taken, we might see a World War III. I'm not sure. I don't know. But the way things are right now, it is very, very tense. The only place that will still be safe, if quote and unquote, tí World War III bá bẹ̀rẹ̀ lénìí, Africa ṣì nìkan ló máa safe. Tógun World War III bá bẹ̀rẹ̀ lénìí, àwa tá wà ní Europe, we are not safe. I'm sorry to say that. Ẹ̀yin tẹ́ wà ní America is safe. Ẹ̀yin tẹ́ wà ní Asia is safe. The only place that will be safe temporarily, ogun yẹn dẹ̀ lè last another 30, 20, 15 years. I know because, like I said, there is a lot of discussion. The FBI, àwọn tó bá wà l'America, they can confirm what I've just said now, or what I'm about to say now. That's ẹni tó bá ń follow, situation of security in America. The FBI spoke within the last 48 hours. But I have been getting that news as far back as almost a week ago, because there are some platforms that I know my long wood to technical concept, but in terms of Sunny or deep gone. There's a lot of sleeper cells in America today. How many people know how to open sleeper cells? They are also here in Europe with us. But one time return migrate káàkiri yẹn. Táàrin wọn tán wá pẹ̀lú small boats. The UK no face stop. They are not telling us the true picture of these people. These are jihadis that are coming to live with us. Some of them will live with us for the next 20 years before they activate, while some of them will live shorter than that, depending on how they are going to operate. Let me take us back to America. I'm going to go on FBI. FBI director. The name of the FBI director is Christopher A. Wary. Christopher Ashewary is an American attorney who is the current director of the Federal Bureau of Investigation. And I'm going to click on the news. You can do the same thing. Sorry, Google, echo type FBI director, and then I click news. These are the headlines in the last 4 hours. According to Reuters, Interbatic Bulletin Reuters confirmed me, only lati doubt it. Reuters headline says, lapses of the US global warrantless surveillance power will be damaging, FBI Chief Director. The Hill, FBI Chief, we are working round the clock. Ẹ̀yin tẹ́ wà l'Amẹ́ríkà, ẹ̀yin tẹ́ wà ní Canada, àwa tá wà ní Europe, ẹ tẹ́tí kẹ́ gbọ́ bíbá. Àwọn pé kò ń ṣe nǹkan ní àwọn àṣàyàn àwọn adẹ́rùbà àwọn èèyàn lóyún. Tẹ́ bá ní ẹni mo fi dógún lẹ̀. Èmi ò ní kan mo fi dógún lẹ̀. There is problem that America is working around the clock. This is much more scale up than what happened during 9/11, even though there's a lot of conspiracy around that as well, but I'm not touching that. FBI chief says, we are working around the clock to disrupt potential attacks inspired by Hamas. CNN, 5 hours ago, FBI director says the Bureau is working around the clock. Thanks so much for the, for that. Thanks so much. FBI director says the Bureau is working around the clock against potential attacks. The FBI itself, I'm on the website, and I'm just going to pick a little bit from what the chief FBI said. Directors Wary opening statement to the Senate Judicial Committee. Why am I bringing this up right now? There's a lot of things that is happening simultaneously in the world of today. A lot of us, as much as we are saying that if care is not taken, we are not also safe outside. We are all in danger, especially the next generation. How soon all this can happen, I don't know. But let's read what, and this is today's date. Christopher A. Wary, Director of Federal Bureau of Investigation, Washington, D.C., has prepared for delivery. Good morning, Chairman Dobbin, Ranking Member Graham, members of the committee. I am proud to be here today representing the FBI. Talk about my FBI. Oh, my now committee crime. I'm a more like way. Talk about it needed. Lonely more. And to my more. What you are like better FBI. And they have a lot of proxies that are working around the clock with them. We are just 20 minutes before the end of the program. The threat, the FBI Bureau says, 38,000 men and women tackle every day are more complex and evolving more quickly than ever before. We continue to work relentlessly to stay ahead of the threat and outpace our adversaries. If the FBI is telling the Americans that, look, threat wà lọ́dọ̀ yín, lóòótọ́ àwọn ìyá wa kàn lọ́bi iṣẹ́, àwọn bàbá wa ń ṣiṣẹ́, àwọn tó ti rìtáyà wà nílé, wọ́n wo TV, wọ́n wo Koiki, wọ́n wo this, wọ́n wo that. But there is threat to lives of those of you in that region. I am not making this up. That is what the FBI director is saying. If FBI is worried about those of you in America, ta ló ń worry nípa àwa ní Nàìjíríà? Have you thought about that? For example, I want us to take note of this. Mr. Kinwande Francis Mukinsa, and thanks so much for everyone watching. We're almost there. We've spent 2 hours, so we're less than 20 minutes. So it might lost soon. But baba wa sọ fẹ́ lómi pé àwa lórí live program wọn ní mọ̀ àbẹ́mọ̀. So you know the kẹba wa sọ fún wọn náà kó lè dọ́dọ̀ wọn. For example, last year, FBI says that we disrupted over 40% more cyber operations and arrested over 80% more cyber criminals than the year before. Ní ọdún tó lọ lọ́hùn ní 2022, wọ́n ti arrest more cyber criminals and more cyber operations. Let me remind us again, torí eléyìí wà important. Gbogbo ẹ̀yin tẹ́ bá gbọ́ mi níbi báyìí, níbi tí mo dé báyìí, béèyàn kan bá pè yín pé meeting kan wà, ẹ̀gbọ́n mi Ọmọgbọ́láwọn Ọba mo kí yín pé Mr. wọn ní dárúkọ yín wá kọ̀ pé yín random call. Wọ́n ní there's a meeting, wọ́n lè ní Yorùbá Nation meeting, wọ́n máa send the code kan sí yín. Mo bẹ̀ gbogbo wa níbi tẹ́ bá gbọ́ ètò yìí dé níbí báyìí, ẹ kàn disconnect kan. Ẹ ní láti continue conversation ni, ẹ disconnect ẹ. Number one, tẹ́ bá continue pẹ̀lú ẹ, even if you are aware that is a lie, tí instinct yín ò bá ti sọ fún yín pé kẹ́ discontinue call yẹn, you might end up giving them a 6-digit code. Wọ́n to advance nísìn, mo ṣe gbọ́ ilé ní ọ̀dọ̀ wife mi lálẹ́ ni, mo gbọ́ yẹn rí. Ẹ̀yin tẹ́ wà ní UK ni mo ń bá sọ̀rọ̀. I don't know about America and I don't know about other countries. Ó ní báńkì send the Zoom fóun pé kóun login. Ìyàwó mi wà níta nígbà tó pè mí, kò tẹ́ kọ́kọ́ yé mi. Lẹ́sẹ̀kẹsẹ̀ mo ní má click lé lórí o. Tó bá ti click lé lórí, they'll hack you lẹ́sẹ̀kẹsẹ̀. Nígbà tó wá wọlé dé, ó wá ń fi message yẹn wọ̀n mi. And the first thing I did was I went to the receiver, ẹni tó send email yẹn, mo click lé lórí. Mo ní ṣé owó email yìí nísìnyí torí pé kò sí bank kíní kankan lórí ẹ̀. And normally bank doesn't send such message. Ó ti náà máa lọ sí bank láàárọ̀ la anyway. Let us be very, very careful. This is what America FBI is saying. Cybercrime. Àṣewà nínú ọ̀nà àwọn gúrù kan wà láàrin wa tó jẹ́ ọmọ Yorùbá, iṣẹ́ táwọn fi ń jẹun nìyẹn. Olè ni wọ́n. Ọ̀pọ̀ Nàìjíríà, wọ́n dẹ̀ pọ̀ lágbàáyé. Rush pop nìyẹn nísìn. Bọ̀bọ́ kan wà tí wọ́n mú náà nísìn. Ọmọ Yorùbá ni ẹ lọ sórí Gazette newspaper. Èmi ti kà lórí X space lẹ́nìí. $2.5 million ni ó wà lórí Bitcoin. Mẹ́wàá ń ṣẹlẹ̀ o. So tẹ́ bá ní ẹ̀fẹ́ Nàìjíríà kò break, you are likely to be also involved or pained into the problems of Nigeria. Àwọn boys ẹ̀ wọ́n mi báyìí nísìnyí. Táyìn báwọn ṣe ń jí lọ́ fi ṣe business wọn lélẹ̀. Over the past 2 years, ní ọdún méjì sẹ́yìn, we have seized enough Fantel. I don't know what that is. Ó lè jẹ́ bí a drug or something. Let me Google that quickly. Fantel. I might not be pronouncing it very well, but I will try and see. Unload the wall. Okay, it's a drug. Fentanyl. Emara chocolate and they were in the UK. They were very careful, especially if you're not too sure of the brand. They are mixing it with mokaino in paper. Something. Yeah, last week Friday. But to judge in the paper again. There's a particular chocolate on tap in the UK. tó ní a bit of the ọlọ́pàá ṣe investigation, on a bit of all these drugs or whatever. Got to be very careful, especially with our children. Tẹ́ bá ti confirm brand yẹn, don't touch it. Tó bá fún yín, tẹ́ bá confirm ẹ̀, ẹ jùnú sínú bin. Now, director yẹn nísìnyí sọ pé ní ọdún méjì sẹ́yìn àwọn ti seize enough fentanyl drug, Fentanyl, that can kill 270 million people. Did you get that? Wọ́n náà wọ́n ti seize drug tó lè pa over 270 million people. That is more than 80% of all Americans. We are now living in a new world. Àgbéláyé àwọn bàbá Afẹ́nifẹ́re ò sí tó kàn pẹ̀lú gbogbo ayé táwọn gbé yẹn o. Ayé táwa ń gbé, ayé tí bàbá Akíntóyè line pẹ̀lú wa pé ìran Yorùbá gbọ́dọ̀ dá dúró. Gbogbo ìtàwọn sì ń sọ yẹn, àwáwí ló ń sọ o. We must continue to stand firm with this movement. It is not a violent movement. Many people thought it would be. Let me read that again. In 2 years, over the past 2 years, that is just less than 48 months. When I want seize enough drugs to lè pa 270 million. That is the population of Nigeria. So what on say pé kò lè chele, Koiki shut up. Ìwà àti Igboho, èèyàn kan tó ti comment nísìnyí mo ní láti kà síta. Èèyàn kan tó bú mi nísìnyí lórí TikTok. That will kill the whole of country called Nigeria in one go. Tiru drug about one Nigeria, which is already in Nigeria anyway, because we are drugs. We are not taking the movement serious and you don't believe in one Nigeria. Ebi anje ko yà wá pé àwọn seize enough drugs. Mukiya Babawa Prince Adebola, Yawa Risi Ashiru Mufitotoki, Mukia Laja Irat, Mukibu Yawa and Babawa, Mukibu Ekiti Barapo, Mukibu Yoruba Elders of Council. Muni Mahabai Lagbara alone, a sharp with me at the same number. Mukiba Labi Samuel, Mukia Labi Bashiru, Mukukule Bakers, Mukia easy, Mukia easy dollar. Don't joke with what I'm saying. Sherry, we can be wiped off. People don't think it's true because it's possible. Okay, taba fi a drug in Nigeria. Mélòó ní Nigeria, wọ́n náà lè pa 270 million. Killed lọ́sọ̀ kò ṣe pé bí ẹ̀gbọ́n bí ẹ̀jẹ̀ tó bẹ́ẹ̀ ká. Again, highlight it. What I'm going to do now, I'm going to share these on my Twitter. On your Twitter, we call it X. Okay, put Twitter into more alarm. Again, close down only because too much things has been opened. I'm going to post it now. I'll post anything. Unload level. So to Baba, I post this other platforms. Many of you T and Bowa. Ẹ rò pé ọ̀rọ̀ Yorùbá nation ẹ rò pé ọ̀rọ̀ ìfẹ́ ni ojú ẹ̀fẹ́ lọ. There's an hidden agenda to wipe us off the surface of the earth. So I'm just posting that now. Èmi kọ́ mo sọ, FBI ló sọ. How you take this, I don't know. So I'm going to post it on KOIKIMEDIA as well. The reason why you're not seeing our post all the time is because Facebook, actually going to yawa titi layo or Larry, you want congratulations to Bewusha and congratulations to every one of us as well. So the reason why you're not seeing a lot of my posts is because Facebook is restricting it to travel far. Kódà mo lọ wo statistics wà láàárọ̀ àbí nírọ̀lẹ́ lórí Facebook. It's a deliberate act, but I'm not worried and I'm not concerned. At the appropriate time, everybody would demand their right. It's just a matter of time. It's going to happen. So if you're on our timeline, and I'm going to post it on my community before I continue to read further. There is an hidden agenda. We can be wiped off. Many people say it's possible. Islamize Nigeria. Mo ti kí lẹ́ǹkan ìyá mi dáadáa tí mo fi tọ̀wọ̀tọ̀wọ̀ dárúkọ yín ìyá wa Comfort Ológunjà. Wọ́n ní some Yoruba youth have become terrible criminals. Ọmọ Yorùbá lẹ́ni tó ní ó jí $2.5 million yẹn Bitcoin. Ẹ má jọ pẹ̀lú nǹkan tá a fi ń sọ̀rọ̀ lórí bíbá yìí. It's a very serious Yoruba nation kò ń ṣẹ̀fẹ̀ o. It needs every hands on deck. You don't have to have money to support it, but everyone's voice could send a padlock send even if it's just one person. Jacob máa sọ fún ẹ pé kò possible irọ́ ló ń pa nǹkan tí mo fẹ́ sọ tí èèyàn kan comment ní bíbá yìí nísìn ó ti bú ìmọ̀ àti gbowó ní bíbá yìí nísìn bọ̀bọ̀ kan lórí TikTok. It doesn't matter. But má pray pé kí wọ́n gbé 270 million people kò kú ní Nàìjíríà. Ṣebí 200 million làwa pera wa. Now imagine if drugs that can kill 270 million Mukiyawa Ashati Shele Yoruba was stopped by the FBI. Ṣebí America ló ti stop yẹn. Mélòó la mọ̀ tó ń wọ Nàìjíríà. Gbogbo aláṣà ara àwọn ọmọ ìta máa náà ti wà ní Kolos táwọn máa ṣe bí ọ̀dẹ̀. Ààrẹ náà ni. They will destroy. And what they are doing, I'm going to move a little bit high. I have just 10 minutes before the end of the program. Sherry Bobo, take 10 fisara, right? Gene Tiwa like it. And you enforce on Kini. Our body doesn't like it. And it's also going to take away the real spiritual side of us. And when I say spiritual now, I am not just leaving it alone on Isheshe. I'm putting it on all the religion. Whether you're a white garment, you're a Catholic, whatever you are, or you're a non-believer. The moment you start taking certain drugs intake, you will lose that spiritual side of you. And that's what they're doing. I'll just mention this man. I'll just say, be careful with him. Let us be very careful with Bill Gates. That's what I'm just going to say. Let's go further again. Over the past 2 years, the FBI director, last year, over the past 2 years, we have seized enough fentanyl, which is a drug, killed, K-I-L-L, can literally kill 270 million people. Oh, and that is more than 80% of all Americans. If one sọ fún mi pé kò possible kó wipe wa off, tí ó bá lè produce drugs tó lè pa 270 million people, how long does it take to wipe us off? Mo sọ fún ẹ pé ISIS attack Philippines lánàá. Wọ́n pa àwọn èèyàn lánàá. Philippine government ní it is a threat to national unity. Okay, let me check something. Ṣé Philippines is a Islamic or Christian? Kí ni percentage wọn? Philippines. I want to check something. Philippine official, the Republic of Philippines is an archipelago country in the Southeast Asia, in the Western Pacific Ocean. It consists of 7,641 islands, which are broadly categorized. Again, gbogbo island tẹ́ ń gbọ́ yẹn ẹran tí pa ń sọ̀rọ̀ nípa penguin. It was after the the eruption of the volcanic some 200-300 million years ago la bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí rí gbogbo island tá à ń rí this tá à ń rí that. Peter Pan said, if they fire nuclear weapon to Nigeria, do we have any defense? The answer is no. Philippines has a population of 113.9 million. Let's see, religion will not practice Junibe. Okay. Now I can see. Now I can see. Christianity is the predominant religion in Philippines, with Roman Catholicism being its largest domination. Sizable minorities adhering to Islam, Indian religion, and also the indigenous Philippine folk religions are also present. The country is secular. Its constitution guarantees freedoms of religion. Can you start adding one or two? But there's often, why do you think they are trying to attack Nigeria today? Why do we have 12 states don't practice Sharia? Why is the northern part of Nigeria not really secular? I was told that Kaduna is a little bit much secular. I'm a Christian to one, I don't know, but somebody close to me was telling me that because she also lived there for over a month. But I'm a Christian, I'm a little bit more educated. So what were much more open? Could that be the reason why there's a continuous attack in Kaduna? I think both southern Kaduna, there is more killings in that region. And that is why El Rufai said, and I quote, with his right word, that one in governor ni be lie any Christian. Then eruption of the volcano. So you can see why we are saying that things are not hardening up a lot on Nigeria, but Nigerians themselves are saying that, look, Mr. Koiki, while I think it's necessary, Eja fix in Nigeria, and I'm wondering how, if Philippines, a population of about 111 million, is a secular state, but the predominant religion there is Christian. And one inject terrorism on Ube. Okay, key reason to watch him push terror into that region. Can ISIS again, if not to destroy? Yeah, that is it. How does it spell? Fentanyl. Benny mommy, Yami Comfort Logunja. That is the spelling. Fen. Let me put it in a way that we will all understand it from the other side. Freddy Echo November Tango Alpha November Yankee Lima. No, the spelling there is wrong. Mr. Skarsgård. T grammar Comfort Logunja right. Fentanyl. America known to seize enough of it in the last 2 years to only about 270 million people. And people think that it is a joke when we come here and sit down and talk. Because what about Nichelawo? May our gods save us. May the gods of Christian and Islam save us. But may the gods of the Yoruba land protect us all. Let's go further a little bit because the time is very, very close now and we're going to end the program. We are also focused on other threats that emanate from the border. We are also having threats from our own borders. Hey, what's your attack? That is our borders. The moment you lose your border, that is the end. We expect our governors to protect our borders so that we can all be safe. The FBI is saying that they are also focused on other threats. Yeah, so it's not just one threat. Cyber crime. ó ti sọ̀rọ̀ drugs, ó tún sọ̀rọ̀ border. Gbogbo eléyìí ló ń ṣẹlẹ̀ ní Nàìjíríà lénìí o. The question is, do you think that this administration can protect us from all this nonsense? No, it's not possible. And this is the reason why we are so concerned as the citizen of Yoruba. Bẹ́ẹ̀ni ẹ̀gbọ́n mi, Ìjáyàjáyà, Catholic people, you're right. Population yẹn ní Philippines. Indonesia ló ní Muslim tó pọ̀ jù ní region yẹn, but Philippines has predominant Christian. But it's also a secular country. But it looks like one inject terrorism one over for another agenda. We also focus on other threats that emanate from the border and impact communities all over the country. Things like violent gangs and human traffickers. America lele ti ìlú tó lọ́ba tó níjòyè, Tony gbogbo nǹkan. They have 38,000 people that are working around the clock to protect America and American interest. At the same time, given the steady drum beat, this is the one that I want to talk about in Lulu, drum beat of calls for attacks by foreign terrorist organizations since October 7. We are working around the clock to identify, that means people will and disrupt potential attack by those inspired by the Hamas horrific terrorist attacks in Israel. I could go on about the important work the FBI dedicated professionals are doing across the entire spectrum of threat each and every day to protect their fellow Americans. But in my remaining time, I want to emphasize the importance of one tool in particular that is indispensable to our effort to combat threats posed by foreign adversaries, one that will expire in just few short weeks if Congress does not act, and that the FBI FISA Section 702 authority. As this committee knows, 702 allows us to stay a step ahead of foreign actors located outside the United States who pose a threat to national security, and the expiration of the 702 authority will be devastating. So what they're saying is that Emajeki 702, I don't know whether I'm going to stop now, because of the time constraint. We'll pick on this later some other time. But all these, in a nutshell, is that Bishop Adeshino, sunshine forever, Majek, thank you so much. Joe Fisen says some people are mixed Fulani and Yoruba, definitely. Idris says it is very possible. See what is happening in Gaza today. Do not let us joke with what we are discussing. It is important, and if we take no step, Emma Binokwe Ori Chief Committee cut out Latenko. I was going to adjust it this afternoon, but for whatever reason, so that is how far we can go. Igbowo is not our threat. Yes, you're right, Scarce Gold. We are not a threat to the Nigerian government. The real threat are ISIS that have whatever they have to make sure that every part of Nigeria will be Islamized. You can say it's a joke. Even America knows it is not a joke. My name is Olami Koiki. Thank you so much, Commissioner Omoshebi, Muki, Commissioner Nokubodoku, Yajagun, and the rest of all the team. Yoruba Nation, we are happy, we are grateful that they've been able to say that Igbowo was never the criminal that the Nigerian government wanted to portray him. And as I leave us tonight, I pray that Eledumare will guide us, be with us, and protect us. My name is Olami Koiki. If you have any question, you can email. It is an opinion like codeine. Okay. So, they don't want Nigeria. Thanks so much, Mr. Kiwande Francis. This is how far I can go. My name is Olami Koiki. And it is 6/12/2023, 2 minutes past midnight. The reason why I locked the date and the time, so that whoever watched this in the next 200 years, 200 million years, we stood firm for one cause and one cause only, to be free from the bondage of the world that we are living in. The world is a wicked one, and it doesn't want anybody to be free. We will be free, and we are going to be free. Let me pick the last comment. Mr. Raouf Anifoshi says, thank you, Koiki, for the awareness of this kind. I am a Muslim by religion. The Islam missing Nigeria is already done with the other religion, is just struggling to survive. The idea of Massa Musa 1 to 3 that was beget the great-grandfather of Uthman Dan Fodio, brought from Futajalon in Guni Bari. In the mind, the idea of land grabbing still continues, all in the name of one unity, one nation. The ancient time ideas in the modern day. And that's a very powerful one. Uthman Dan Fodio idea is what they want. Atiku visited his grave during the just concluded election. Hello video here. It's just to remind everyone that a vote for Atiku can continue this agenda, even though Emilio Kano gbogbo agbára tiẹ̀, spiritual, physical, to get there. Emilio Kano will exhaust everything he wants to do. Then after 8 years, the power returns to the north and they can continue with their mission. Have you think about that? Think about that as you go to bed tonight. Olayomi Koiki, Koiki Media, bringing the world closer to your doorstep. Good night.